Mariners hoping to avoid a sweep. Instead, they get swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks. They have an off day today. Extra innings coming up at 7 with a preview for this weekend's games. This weekend's games will begin tomorrow against the Cleveland Guardians here at T-Mobile. Meanwhile, Logan Gilbert, solid start with Tacoma. Maybe gets back up here soon. Who knows if it's for this weekend series, but I think we all kind of have our eyes set on this home trip on this homestead here, not just for the Mariners hoping to rack up some wins, but for maybe Logan's return. Let's start, though, with just our thoughts coming off a very bad, no good road trip bump. How are you feeling about this team?
Not good. I mean, look, Wu was going to be like, to me, the savior of this whole thing. I'm like, cool, man. Wu was gone, 6 innings down there. I saw a stat like 11 or 12. His last 11, 12 starts or something like that. The longest in franchise history since 2010. I'm butchering that, but every time he's in. It sounds
right. It felt right.
He goes for at least 6, and he did exactly that. But we all know that what happened in the 6th inning. I'm not feeling great about it, but then there are some things that I do feel good about. Solano hit a bomb. Thank you, Donnie Barrows. Let's go. Julio's been hitting the ball harder. I believe he's batting .375, has an OPS over 800 in the month of June. They hit the ball hard yesterday. Like their top 10 hardest hit baseballs, like 4 resulted in a base hit. Others were like a pop out, line drive, ground into a double play. They're hitting it hard. They're just not getting in the right spots. What's concerning the most is the pitching, because they had the most injuries, and we've seen the lack of consistency over there. So I'm not feeling great about the team. There are some things that can hopefully get you to buy into. They might turn things around, but you can't ignore it. They've been doing like 6-14 their last 20. That ain't fake. Just like we were praising them for their wins in early in the season, we can't ignore what's going down right now. And look, Arizona, decent baseball team. They hit bombs. They don't strike out. They did exactly that against the Mariners. It's just that when you see something that was your strength struggle a bit, and you're not producing runs. I mean, Julio was stranded on second base twice yesterday. And we're asking Julio, get on base, extra base hits. Does exactly that, then you can't pick up the pieces and put it all together. So nothing is connected right now. There are little things you can look at for positives, but end of the day, you're losing games, pitching ain't great, and you're tied with the Angels right now? Come on.
Man, it's a really good point about Julio, though, because it kind of goes to show, like, when this team was playing really well, a lot of people were contributing. Why expect that just one person is going to save them now? Like, why put all of your energy on Julio, or for that matter on Cal, who is delivering, and say, okay, you got to keep being great, or Julio, you need to start getting really, really hot? That's not going to help this team. I mean, it'll help them, but that's not going to save this team. This team needs to be better on just a holistic level. The pitching needs to be better. The bullpen needs to be better. The offense needs to be better. The management needs to be better. Everything needs to be better. Dan Wilson had this to say about the road trip.
Yeah, rough way to lose it today. Rough stretch for sure. This has been a tough one. Time to regroup. Take a day tomorrow and be ready to come back Friday back at home. This is a team, as we've said before, has been resilient. They do what they have to do to bounce back, and that's what we're going to have to do starting on Friday.
And this was Julio.
It's a tough stretch. I feel like nobody in this clubhouse likes to lose. But I feel like we all know the game of baseball is going to go up and down, and everybody through the season is going to go through stretches like this. So, I feel like everybody is staying, pretty even keel throughout, and just kind of putting one foot in front of the other. I know we have lost a good amount of games, but we can't do anything about that anymore. Just kind of keep moving forward and, see what the next one brings, and just bring the best effort and, see what happens.
Julio's right about one thing there. Every team goes through bad stretches in a season. That's baseball. A team that goes on to win the World Series will have a stretch of games, probably more than a stretch of games, where they just don't look like themselves. They don't look great. Maybe they're dealing with an injury. They're just playing bad baseball, whatever it is. He's right. But not every single team has the Mariners' history, right? Where there's a lot of anticipation of failure. Not every team is working with some question marks in their lineup the way that the Mariners are. So how do you fix it? What do you do?
What do you do? You brought up some young guys. Let's see how that works out. You've had to shuffle your rotation around. You're waiting for your arms to get completely healthy there in the rotation, so you can wait there. You hope for young guys to develop. and you hope that the middle of the order starts to produce a bit more. That's all you can do until you get to the trade deadline, and it's time to either you'll be a buyer or a seller. We'll figure out who they are once you get there. But what can you do? You got to keep on playing ball. That's all you can do, because a big move is not going to be made right now. Harry Ford is not going to be called up, and he's going to save the day.
No.
You got to work with what you have and hope that these guys get healthy. And I know that's frustrating for fans to hear, but what else are they supposed to do at this point? Now, when the trade deadline comes around and we figure out exactly who they are at that point, I think the path will be clearer, right? We'll have an idea who's buying, who's selling, what players are available, and then we can devise a plan on how they get better externally. But internally, man, barrel the ball up, throw strikes, get outs, keep freaking grinding. That's all you can do. And it hurts. I know fans don't come after me. Oh, bump, same thing every year. I know. I get this. But if you are an athlete out there, what are you supposed to do? If you're an organization, what are you supposed to do? Throw in the white towel and say, okay, we're done? No, it's a tough position to be in, and it resembles every single year, it feels like, with the Mariners. So I get the frustration, but honestly, there's nothing they can do at this point, because teams are still trying to figure out if they are in the playoff race, not in the playoff race, buyers, sellers. It's like you got to wait for everyone else to kind of decide who they are while you're just developing who you are at the same time.
There are many, many, many playoff teams who have been at 500 or worse by not even early June, by July. 2024 Astros, 2006 Twins, right? A number of other teams. They've all either gotten healthier, went on a run, seen failure elsewhere in the division. Like, something did happen. Here's what I'll say about the Mariners. Bump, I know that in Julio's answer, in Dan's answer, they say, like, we just have to keep playing. And part of that is fundamentally true. You got to keep playing. Like, what are you going to do? You just got to keep powering forward and keep your mindset right. I don't know that they have the pieces to be a playoff team, so you have to get them. We had Jordan Schusterman of Yahoo Sports on with us yesterday, and we said, look, Jordan, it's a seller's market, and there's an argument to be made for the Mariners, and one that I could see the Mariners being tempted by. There's an argument to be made of maybe move on from some really good pieces and build towards 2026. The season isn't feeling right. You've got some missing pieces. Build up that farm system. Get in some nice things. Make the most of the pieces you have that aren't going to serve you this year. However, Jordan said, no. Absolutely not.
They are not in a position to delay trying to win any further. It's that simple. And I think that's true just big picture, and I think it's true specifically for the front office in place. This is not a situation where we'll try again next year. No, the urgency has to remain there, partially because of how frustrating the last few years have been, partially because of what I just said, that the American League is wide open. And then the other key factor, which I've mentioned a few times on the show, is that they got a hell of a farm system to trade from. And there are going to be pieces that they have that they're going to be able to move to teams that want them, that are genuine sellers. Again, we're still waiting to see who those sellers are that are going to emerge. Sure, you could say they could take advantage, but this is not a situation like Baltimore where they are in such a big hole that they just have to decide, all right, we have to push it to next year, still have a core in place, compete in 2026. That's not the situation.
They're not in a position to delay winning, is what Jordan said. Do you agree, Bump?
Yeah, because guys are getting older. I mean, 3 years ago, we were talking about this rotation and its potential, and then you're adding young pieces or whatnot. Guys are getting older. Logan's not going to get younger. Casillas not going to get younger. You have to strike now, because how much better do you really expect this team to be when it comes to just the rotation? Like, how much better do you think this situation can get? I think this is as good as it's going to get for a long time here in Seattle. So, no, I don't think they're in a position. It feels worse than what it really is as far as their chances to make the playoffs right now, just because of the last 20 games. And there was, I forgot, someone texted on there, said good teams don't go through stretches like this. And I agree, because I went and I looked at the top teams in the league. I looked at the Yankees, the Twins, the Tigers. I look at a bunch of teams right now. None of them have stretches, 20-game stretches like this, okay? But you're having a 20-game stretch like this, and you're still in it. As of now, you're still in this thing. So as of now, no, you can't waste it. You have to compete. You're not throwing in the towel. You're 4 games behind the Astros. We've seen how inconsistent they are, yet they still find ways to win ball games. You're still in the mix. It hurts. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't look good. The pitching's been struggling. You're not scoring runs. You're 1 for 11 with runners in score position, but you're still in it. That's the reality of the situation. The reality is you're not playing good ball. You're still in it. So, no, you can't just chalk it up and prepare for the future now.
Yeah, as a famous person on Project Runway once said, make it work. And that's exactly what they need to do with this one. You need to make it work because that's what you owe your players. That's what you owe fans. That's what you owe the city. And frankly, that's what players owe themselves because part of getting better is players playing better. This isn't like, the players are giving it their all and the Mariners front office put together intentionally a horrible team. There are players who just aren't performing the way that they should. They frankly are not performing. I don't know if that's the way that they're being coached up to hit. I don't know if it's mental things that maybe like pressure or just something isn't clicking. I have no idea what's at play there, right? Like only those guys do, maybe their coaches do, but there's certainly some onus on players to improve. However, this is certainly a team that woulda, coulda, shoulda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you look back at winter and it's exactly what we did last year. You look back and you go, man, you really should have continued to address this team. You really should have added. I don't know that rolling out much of the same thing was the right move. Credit to you for extending Cal. Credit to you for, bringing back Jorge Polanco, who initially got pretty hot. None of it was enough. It wasn't enough. Cal's having the best catcher season that we've ever seen. It's not enough. He'd be MVP in the National League, and it's not enough. So I think that this is a team, to Jordan's point, to your point, that does need to add. And I think it's a bat. Do you?
Yeah, I keep hearing some analysts say an arm, and I get where they're coming from because you see the ups and downs of this rotation. But so what if you have a great rotation? So what if you have a good bullpen? If you're not producing runs, if you're not getting extra base hits, if you're not slugging, it all means nothing. I think the way the arms are performing right now, I have more trust in the rotation getting right than I have the bats getting right.
Yeah.
I look at Woo's performances of the past. I know he struggled yesterday, and I think he'll be fine. We're seeing Kirby bounce back. I think Castillo has kind of turned a corner a bit. They're going to have their bad moments because no rotation is perfect. But who cares how good this rotation is if you can't score runs? So no, I'm all for a bat. I'm all for a bat. I understand where they're coming from when they say the arms, but it's about scoring runs. They're not doing that.
I just feel like at a certain point, Bump, if one of your, students at the training academy were told over and over to fix something and didn't, at a certain point you go, am I doing something? Or the same thing, if someone you're responsible for or something you're responsible for is failing over and over, at a certain point you have to change your approach. And that's how I'm looking at the Mariners. I don't know what the approach is, but I'm like, time and time again, you have offensive question marks. Time and time again, you enter the offseason with those question marks, leave the offseason with question marks, and then those question marks cost you during the season. And I will absolutely give them credit for improving what feels like genuinely in a couple areas this year. Unfortunately, it's not enough because you counted on your pitching staying healthy, which was a gamble. And it was one worth taking in that it was worth not trading away those pieces. Unfortunately, your offense needs to be even better, and it's a pathetic showing.
Dang.
It is. It is. You knew that you had a problem. You know what I mean? Like if I was in high school and my teacher told me at midterms, you're failing right now, you need to do better, and then I didn't try harder, who do I have to blame at the end of the year?
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. And maybe this people won't like me for this.
Okay. Ooh.
But I'm not sitting here. Look, the beginning of the season, you and
it's gonna be spicy.
Everybody here. No, it's not too spicy.
Okay,
maybe I gassed it up too much.
Okay.
But everybody, we're sitting here, and even the text lines, a lot of people in text lines, we're sitting here, and we are praising them. Mm-hmm. We are saying maybe they figured this out.
They deserved it.
Polanco looks great. Cal's doing his thing. Mm-hmm. Julio's not even playing great yet.
Yeah.
But we see where he's going. Vibes are all good. All right. And we're on that train. And now this 20-game stretch comes, and they have the same guys out there. If I'm management, if I'm looking down at my team, I'm putting myself in their shoes. If I'm looking down at this team, I'm thinking, well, they did it earlier, right? How long can we give them before we have to make a big change? Because they're hoping that they can tap back into what they did in the future. And the reality of the situation is, I know you hate it, there's a lot of baseball left. Okay?
That's fair.
The question is, when do they feel that sense of urgency? Because I think it's easy for us to sit here and jump on them because the last 20 games ain't been great, because the pitch has been struggling, the bats aren't going, and we have more urgency because we've seen this before. I just wish I knew what they were feeling up there, right? But me personally, off of what we know about them, I think they're sitting back and saying, "No, they're going to figure this thing out."
Yeah.
Maybe we add something at the trade deadline, but nothing drastic can be done right now. So I think we have to hold them accountable. But I'm also saying, what are they supposed to do right now? Like, what legitimately are they supposed to do? We will call you out. You got swept by the Diamondbacks. You are tied with the Angels. You got swept by Baltimore. Not good baseball at all right now. But what are they supposed to do? Like, I think this is where a lot of the onus has to come on the players because they've shown us that we can do it. And that's part of it, too, is like, if I'm coaching somebody and he's shown me that he can do it, then it disappears. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You showed me you can do it. Tap back into that. But it's so hard. We have this many games, and you've done this over and over and over again. You're going to feel pressure. You feel pressure. You should be held accountable. But I'm also sitting there with my hands up like, all right, what are they supposed to do? Harry Ford ain't going to say today.
He's not.
Harry's not going to do it. All right, what are you going to do?
So are those players you're looking at then, are you looking at a Polanco like, hey, man, we're not talking about 2019 Polanco was great. We're talking about April Polanco was great. Like, is that the kind of player you're looking at where you're like, I know you've got it in you this year?
Yeah, April Polanco was crazy. I didn't expect that.
Sure.
Like, give me like 3/4 of that, you know?
Give me like maybe an end of April, early May Polanco.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But we do have to hold him accountable because he showed us he can do it. And what does that do for ownership? It reinforces everything they thought. See, we told you. So now the coaches are looking at Polanco like, come on, you got to turn this thing around. And ownership, you know they don't want to spend money anyway. They're saying you got to make it work. It is a messy situation. I almost wish they didn't have the start that they had because it hypes everybody up and it makes ownership feel like they did the right thing.
Like they might have the answers here already.
Exactly. But when most people know or feel that you got to go, like you said, and do more.
Yeah, they absolutely have to do more. And honestly, if you're the front office, you should feel like here's the thing. This is a down year for the American League, a down year for the American League West. You have not won your division in over 20 years. There are people listening that were not born. There are people listening that were children. There are people listening that are married with kids or have grandkids and were far younger the last time this team won the AL West. You know what I mean? That's a long time. Even if you were still performing that way, you should want to go after it.
Right.
You should want to be even better. You should have this shark in the water smelling blood mentality to becoming a World Series team. Much less when you're not playing that way anymore. You should have that water in the blood mentality. That's dangerous. See a doctor. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, the Pacers have taken a 2-1 series lead over Oklahoma City in the NBA Finals after their 116-107 win last night in Game 3. What's the real headline?
Man, the Thunder might find out that it really does hurt to have something taken from you.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Feel that. The key to this whole thing is the production that the Indiana Pacers are getting from everybody. Like, everyone is contributing to this thing. You look at Oklahoma City's bench, you got a guy with 4 points. You got a guy with 8 points in Caruso, another guy with 6. You look at the bench over there, you got 9, 10, 27 from Benedict. Who names their kid Benedict? And
have some respect. Bear down.
Please. Eggs are named after him, okay? It's a delicious breakfast. Yeah.
And you get 10 from TJ. It's just they're deep. The Pacers, we talk about complete teams and how the super team era is gone, and I appreciate that. The Pacers are a perfect example of the super teams being gone. Siakam's not a household name. Neesmith isn't. Miles Turner isn't. Maybe people are starting to know who Halliburton is a little bit, but they are a complete team, and this has been fun so far. Go Indiana Pacers. Do it for Mike Lefkoe.
Isn't an egg Benedict your favorite brunch item? Like, if you went to a brunch restaurant, it's an eggs Benny with potatoes. Right? What are you ordering?
Good. For brunch?
Don't tell me you're...
Breakfast burrito all day.
Okay, that's an acceptable. I thought you were about to go healthy and be like, 3 eggs cooked anyway, some whole wheat toast, avocado, of course. It's an eggs Benny. He's scored 27 off the bench, most for a reserve in NBA Finals history since Jason Terry in 2011.
A couple of Wildcats. Why am I wearing my Wildcat sweater today? Oh, because he was balling last night.
From ESPN, teams that won Game 3 of a 1-1 NBA Finals have gone on to win 80% of the time. Also from ESPN, the Pacers have not lost back-to-back since March 8th and 10th. Obviously, that trend continued, having lost Game 2, winning in Game 3. Game 4 in Indy tomorrow night.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Mariners have an off day today before beginning a series against the Guardians tomorrow. What's the real headline?
The offense has been off for a while now, so that's surprising.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a day off will rejuvenate, have them refocus. I mean, what else What else can we do? Go on a hike and look at the mountains, and I don't know. Do something. In the garden and sit and read a book.
Look,
calm
I'll
yourself
say this.
down. Come on.
It would be peak Mariners for us to have an entire show talking about it's not looking good. They need to do better, and then they just like sweep the Guardians, and we look like idiots.
Yeah.
It would be peak Mariners. That's happened many a time where we've been like, this guy. I don't know if you DFA him. I don't know if you send him to the IL. I don't know what you do, and then he'll hit a bomb in the next game. So maybe this is a science that I think we've proven. Maybe the Mariners will actually play much better coming off this off day. Curtis, you have extra innings coming up at 7. What should we expect?
Greatness.
Everything.
Greatness.
Yeah, greatness.
It's really, I don't even need to say.
Right. We got Jonathan Mayo of MLB Pipeline coming up at 8 o'clock tonight to talk some MLB draft because the Mariners have the number 3 pick. And also the College World Series starts this weekend. So there's that to look forward to.
A disappointing number of people not a fan of Eggs Benny. You guys are surprising me and
I like
disappointing
Eggs
me.
Benedict.
It's delicious.
It's not my favorite brunch item.
I would put hollandaise on everything. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the 2025 U.S. Open is teed off today. Current leaderboard, we got our guy, J.J. Spawn. That's a real name. -4 through his whole
points.
round. What's the real headline?
Bump will miss you.
Yep, you already know. It's right here.
Is it open
on the
right now on
iPad.
your iPad?
Mm-hmm. You know how we do, baby. It's a major. We gotta watch. It's a major.
God.
I'm just mad Tiger ain't there, man. Ruptured that Achilles. Getting ready for the Masters. I don't know if I'll ever see him again. I miss you, Tiger.
Never know.
I miss you.
I don't think you'll ever see him win a major again.
No. Heck no.
Yeah.
He's going to go to the Champions Tour with all the old heads and kill it, though.
Mm-hmm. Who's going to win this one? Who are you going for in this one?
I still want DeChambeau, man. This course is built for DeChambeau because the rough is so thick, and if you miss,
that? He's +3 today.
well, you know what?
+3 points.
I didn't see that, but if I were to bet before you told me that, I would have said DeChambeau. But man, the rough is crazy out there. I heard Salk talking about playing there, and he said he'd shoot like 150, and I believe him because if you don't hit the fairway, it's a wrap.
I've
So
said that so many times.
I'm looking at the bottom of the leaderboard. That's where I always go to on a golf leaderboard because, like, who's had the worst day? Some fellow by the name of Justin Hicks shot a +14 today, 84.
he's an amateur, though.
There's a
He's an amateur.
+13.
Yeah, the amateurs are struggling.
+12.
So it's just a really, really, really tough course.
It's difficult. You got Shane Lowry, who's a pretty good pro at +9 right now. It's hard out there. These guys are shooting +9. I'm at +25, 30 for sure.
Do you know a woman who gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. Together, we want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at WOISeattle.org before the deadline. Speaking of some underdog stories, our personal favorite before they became great stories coming up next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
In Cal, you're seeing a superstar start to develop. He's starting to get that national recognition. It's always been, when you talk about the Mariners, you'd sort of talk about the rotation as a whole. Sure. Talking about an individual, it's been Julio. And it feels like Cal is starting to move into that spot. Now, here's the thing. Neither, by baseball standards, are being paid as a superstar.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA Club World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
LeeJohnson.com is a dynamic research tool.
We want to give the customer enough information to where they don't have to go anywhere else to research any of the questions they have. And if they want more information, we'd love to be there to help. We don't want them to feel like they're dependent on emailing us or texting us or calling us just to get the information they need. So we put it all out there. We call them digital retailing tools, big fancy calculators where you can get in there and change the terms and change the payments and change the cash down. And it'll give you a disclosure of, hey, when you do this, this means here. And a consumer can get on there and do a lot of this themselves. And then if they choose to get us involved, we can actually get involved on the backside of it and help them along the way. We want to give the consumer the same tools that we have and let them understand what we understand.
Yup, that's pretty much what you'd expect. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and great news this August. Luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Yes, the hotel is finally opening. You can book now for an unforgettable summer experience at snocasino.com. Breathtaking views of the Cascades in Snoqualmie Valley, an expanded non-smoking gaming floor, awesome destination spa, a 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yes, new food venues, restaurants as well. You can book at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest. It's now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
It's the Graz here for my friends at Premier Golf. Take advantage of early sunrise and late sunset at the 11 different Premier courses today. From Bellingham, Everett, and Marysville to Linwood, Bellevue, and Seattle, even out on the coast, they've got a course near you. Play Inner Bay or Jackson, Bill Wright or West Seattle, Bellevue, Legion Memorial, Walter Hall, Linwood, Cedar Crest, Lake Patton, and even Ocean Shores. Courses are in great shape and ready for your next round. Visit PremierGolfCenters.com, that's PremierGolfCenters.com, and book your tee time today.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Kind of a before they were great story. Anyone you remember watching, maybe you went to school with them, something like that. They attended your alma mater, whatever, and then you kind of watched them blossom into a great athlete, a key contributor, and you thought, man, that's a wild story. I didn't have a major one, really. I couldn't think of a single person that went to my high school that became a professional athlete, including like prior to me being there and after. Nor for like our rival school. It just was not a great sports
Your league
district.
was whack, huh?
Who is Ty's rival?
Well, we considered it Mount Rainier, but they looked down on us. So
Academic eligibility.
No, I remember
Is that what you're saying?
when we were in swim, we shared the same pool with the Mount Rainier girls swim, and their team was like 5 times as big as ours. I'm not kidding. And so we were on the bus one time, and the rival team was getting on, and one of them, there was another girl on my team who had like a magazine on her lap, and this girl from Mount Rainier grabbed the magazine out of her lap and just kept walking.
Wow.
They were bullies. I
That's a mean
despise
girl
Mount
is what
Rainier.
that is.
I'll say it to your face.
Yeah.
I hate Mount Rainier. Tyee forever. SeaTac up. We out of here, city girls.
We out of here. Not out here.
We out here, and
we're
we
no
out of
longer
here.
We're out of here.
We
We're
out of
done.
here, and that we graduated. So I don't have any stories. I mean, I went to school the same time as, a year behind, but Jake Locker and Jermaine Kearse. I guess I saw Jermaine Kearse in class. That's the closest I could get to it, but you guys had cooler stories.
Go ahead, Curtis.
Okay, so freshman year at U of A, I'm at a basketball game. They're playing Duquesne University, tiny little school, which actually is the alma mater of the late, great John Clayton. So shout out to the professor. But Duquesne University had this point guard on their team who was cooking us, and he was playing where it was just like, dude, why are you giving so much effort? Like, calm down.
Like you thought you're
it's
trying.
like the
you're
first
doing
game
too
of the
much.
season, yeah. And just was playing out of his mind that game. And we ended up winning, and his performance kind of stuck with me for about a week. I was like, man, who was that guy on Duquesne's roster? And then flash forward to the end of the season, it gets announced that guy from Duquesne is transferring to Arizona to play point guard for his junior and senior seasons. And it's one TJ McConnell. And TJ McConnell last night for Indiana was a huge contributor, especially in the second half. Him and Benedict Mathurin were huge contributors to the Pacers' Game 3 victory. And McConnell's career has been not easy for him after college. He went undrafted. He signed with the process 76ers. So, like, when the 76ers were really bad, when they were purposely losing to try and get lottery pick after lottery pick, like, he was on that team and was one of the at least halfway decent players, has stuck it out, has grinded. 10 years now he's been in the NBA, and here he is in the NBA Finals, being a huge contributor.
Good for
So,
him.
shout out to him. Bear down.
Shout out to him for one time. Rival high schooler thinking you're doing too much.
Chill out, buddy.
Stop trying so hard. Bump.
I got two. One is one's a little different. So there's this guy on social media. He's like the NBA shooting coach, right? His name is Chris Matthews, and I followed him for a while, not understanding exactly who he was. My buddy hits me up. He goes, "Hey man, do you follow the shooting coach Chris Matthews?" I go, "Oh yeah." He goes, "You don't remember him?" I go, "No, what are you talking about?" He goes, "We went to school with him." I'm like, shut up. So I go back and I check him out, look at his stats. No, his stats were not great at WSU, averaged 3.7 points per game.
Yeah.
But he is blown up on social media. He's a shooting coach, and his tagline is, "I understand it now." Like, he'll shoot an M&M into a water bottle or something. Like, his shot is crazy. So that's on
wildly impressive.
Yeah, that's on the social media level. Like, he's making money, and my man did not even play at WSU for real. And he's killing it. So big ups to Chris Matthews. I'm sorry I didn't recognize who you were. But my other one is Aaron Baines, man. Aaron Baines, this freaking 7'1" guy from Australia. And I always looked at him at WSU and thought, oh, he's cool. You know, he's a 7-footer. Like, he'll get a shot in the NBA, but I don't expect nothing from him. He averaged, his best year, 2009, he averaged 12.7 points per game. And then he disappears for a little bit. And I'm like, man, where did Aaron Baines go? Looked him up. He played in EuroLeague in 9, FIBA in Australia in 10. He bounced around Europe, and then I saw him on the bench one time for the San Antonio Spurs when they were winning championships. And he squeaked out a nice little 9-year career, won a couple rings, won one with Boston as well, and just made a name for himself. I went from looking at that dude from he's just big to, all right, he's winning some championships. Didn't score a lot of points, right? His last in 2020, he averaged, 11 points. But the come-up was great for him because I never thought he was anything special.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he'll get a cup of coffee in the league, put 19 years in, won a couple championships.
Man, good for him.
It's good for him.
Wouldn't it be funny if Matt had one, but because he hates sports, he wasn't participating, but it was like he went to high school with, like, TJ Watt. He's like some guy.
Why? You went to Lake Stevens, right?
Yes.
Lake Stevens. And what year did you graduate?
2011.
11. So, who'd you go to school? Lake Stevens put some
Jacob
guys out.
Eason?
Nah, he was before him. Maybe you were in school at the same time as
I was.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Okay, well, sure, that counts.
Jacob Eason getting the best arm I've ever seen live. Jacob Eason, he got drafted late out of UW. Has bounced around for a bit.
What's he doing now?
I think he's a backup somewhere.
Okay.
He's backup somewhere. But the best arm I've ever seen live, Jacob Eason.
What's one of the best athletes you've seen live where you were like, he never really became much of anything, but you thought, he's so talented?
You guys wouldn't know him. His name was
that's exactly, yeah.
Chauncey Washington. He went to South Torrance High School. We played against him in high school, and he committed to USC. He was there when Lindell White was there, Reggie Bush was there, and we just imagined those three in the backfield. And he just never panned out. He gained a lot of weight and just never did anything. I hope he's doing well in life, but disappeared over there.
I have some stories from the text line. The 509 says, I grew up in southern New Hampshire. One of my high school arch rivals was a place called Memorial High School in Manchester. Chris Carpenter was pitching for them. I went on to win at least one World Series, maybe more. I faced that dude. I don't think I ever got credit for an at-bat. He hit me every single time I came up. I wasn't a guy that stood on the plate. I just had oppo field power, so everyone pitched me inside. He had a pretty good shot of going to the Hall of Fame, and I guess I can say I got hit multiple times, including 4 times in the state championship game that we lost. Solid. Someone said, I played against Corbin Carroll when he was a freshman and I was a senior. Best player in the league. Went 0 for 4 against me. Everyone has one of those stories where they're like, hey, what can I say? We got a couple people. We had a couple former totems on the text line. All of us are together and that we just, we can't really think of anyone. Someone said Ty just has Gary Ridgway.
It said, I'm originally from Federal Way, Washington, and we dominated Ty in baseball.
Okay. I don't care.
425 says they played baseball with Grady Sizemore.
I just got to that one.
In 2000.
Cascade, class of 2000.
Grady Sizemore, one of those
crazy.
guys that, like, if injuries didn't zap his career, probably was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. He was so good.
Yeah, he was nasty.
A couple people played with Buddha, Bellevue. Didn't Taylor go to school? Bellevue has had.
Taylor was there, I think, near the start of the Bellevue run with like J.R. Hasty and all those guys.
Manufacturing their teams.
Yeah.
That Paul Moyer, for listening, that strip mall university.
That's right. That's right. What high school in Washington do you think has put out the most NFL talent?
I mean, you got to look at the private schools, right?
I know,
I think Bellevue put out a few, right? Miles Jack and Buddha Baker, but Eastside Catholic just put out one this year. G. Scott went there too. He's a pro. So you got to look at the private schools.
All right. What we learned from Mike Macdonald this week coming your way next.
Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
A lot of baseball to talk with Jeff Passan today.
This is now a 29-game stretch where we're 11-18. Who are these Mariners on June 10th?
They're the team that at the beginning of the season we thought they were going to be and that they can't hit. Like, if Cal Raleigh is not in this lineup right now, I mean, I don't even know. It would look like the Rockies.
Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus for Silver Reef Casino. If you have nothing to do this weekend, and take an easy drive up I-5, get off exit 260, and that's real fine. Silver Reef Casino. It's a great place to get away and recharge. I did it. It helped. They got great, comfortable rooms. They're spacious, free Wi-Fi, and they have tablets. You might get a view as well. Also, you go downstairs, you got to get something to eat. Go to the steakhouse or the cantina if you're looking for a Mexican vibe. If you want to watch sports, go to Portis Bay Sports Bar. The vibes are great there, and bring your clubs. You got Loomis Trails Golf Course, 18 holes with water almost golfers everywhere. You got to be patient out there. And this month, every Saturday, you can win $5,000. They also have some events coming up. You got Howie Mandel. You got Desperado. It's an Eagles tribute band. You also have Neil McCoy. Book your tickets at silverreefcasino.com. Silver Reef Casino, it's not a secret anymore. Like I said, easy drive up I-5 exit 260. That's where you find Silver Reef Casino.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Group, or People Come First Construction Group, and that's exactly what they did when we made the call a couple years ago. We wanted to redo our outdoor space, wanted to add a deck, an outdoor living, a television, and a kitchen. And PCF Group, wow, they more than delivered. And if you're interested in building a stunning outdoor area like we did, I cannot recommend them enough. Reach out before the good weather arrives, and their schedule, well, it's going to fill up. So whether you're looking for a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you covered. Design now and pay later. In fact, get 12 months, no interest and no payments, and up to $6,000 off and a $1,000 Amazon gift card. Request a complimentary design and estimate consultation at 425-629-8476 or project ideas. Explore photos at pcfgroup.com. That's 425-629-8476.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
June is Men's Health Month, and we want to place a special emphasis on prostate cancer awareness and treatment. Prostate cancer can be silent. It's important to get checked, even if you have no symptoms. Ask your primary care doc for a PSA screening if you're 50 or over, and 45 if there's a family history. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment at Swedish Cyberknife right here in Seattle. It only takes 5 short treatment sessions. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
You have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
It's the Graz here for my friends at Premier Golf. Take advantage of early sunrise and late sunset at the 11 different Premier courses today. From Bellingham, Everett, and Marysville to Linwood, Bellevue, and Seattle, even out on the coast, they've got a course near you. Play Inter Bay or Jackson, Bill Wright or West Seattle, Bellevue, Legion Memorial, Walter Hall, Linwood, Cedar Crest, Lake Patton, and even Ocean Shores. Courses are in great shape and ready for your next round. Visit PremierGolfCenters.com, that's PremierGolfCenters.com, and book your tee time today.
from the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What we learned from Mike Macdonald this week, we had a ton of sound from the Seahawks head coach yesterday. We didn't get to all of it. A lot to take away from camp. Let's start with someone that we shockingly haven't said much about, Leonard Williams.
Man, he's one of our driving forces. You know, you got to give him a lot of credit on his approach since, you know, we met him a year ago. We knew he was an awesome guy. We knew he was a great football player, but what we needed from him was more in terms of a leadership role and asserting himself. And he does it his style, but you know, at this point in your career to challenge yourself to take it to another level, I think that speaks volumes for who he is. And our coaches, you know, they deserve a shout out too, because they saw it in him and work with them, you know, consistently. You know, Leslie does a great job with that AD. Obviously we love him, but there's high expectations too. I mean, he's got to win. He's got to win rushes. He's got to be disruptive in the run game. He's got to set other guys up when, you know, they're giving him attention in the blocking or in their protection scheme. So, but that's what you want as a premier player. You know, you want that added attention.
Bump, if I asked you who are the three most important players, the key pieces to the Seahawks defense, would Williams be one of them?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you come off of an 11-sack year. You have one of the greatest interceptions for touchdowns we've seen out of a big man, maybe the greatest we've seen out of a big man. And when you play the position that he does, I mean, Coach just described it. It's like, look, he's got to be good against the run. He has to put pressure on the quarterback. He's got to take on these double teams to free up these backers. He has to do dang near everything on that defensive line, and he's more than capable of doing it. And I like that they're putting him in that position to be a leader, because I think, you know, when you are one of the best players on defense, you're automatically seen as a leader, even if you don't have the leadership qualities and stuff. You're making plays. People are going to look to you for some answers. And I think he's up for the challenge, man. Had a great year last year. Now it's about just building off of that. That's the scary part when guys have great years. You're like, man, can he do it again?
Right.
Like, can you run this back? The last time he had 11 sacks was in 2020. After that was 6.5, 2.5, 1.5, missed some games. So at how old is my man? At the age of 30. Coach think he still has something left in the tank. I think that's a compliment.
What are the other two most important players?
On defense, you got to go Ernest, and then you got to go J Love. You just go right up the middle.
Oh, I wrote Ernest and then I wrote Devin, because I was just thinking of players that I'm like, it's important that your number 5 pick work out, but I think you're right.
No, I think Devin, you could put Devin in the top 3 as far as performance.
But
you know
I see
what I mean?
what you mean, though.
Yeah. I mean, Julian has to take care of the back end, make sure everyone's all lined up. He's coming off a Pro Bowl year, I believe. He got paid a couple years ago. So typically on the defense, you go right up the gut. You go right up the middle and make sure that's taken care of.
Macdonald was asked about the team's toughness.
Yeah, you try to put it in perspective. The feeling you want coming out, like going into the whole offseason program, we wanted to be tough and connected. I think we're on our way to being tough. You know, we haven't had to prove it yet with pads on, but definitely feel like we're a connected group. I think we've made a lot of strides confidence-wise in the schemes that we're running, and understand what's expected and just how we roll here in general. So really excited about this group. They're a lot of fun to coach. I think I speak for the whole coaching staff when I say that. And yeah, it's good that we're going into a break here, so we can kind of regather and take a breath and then kind of recalibrate going into camp. But I'll tell you what, like, I think I speak for the whole team. We're really excited to get this thing going, starting a training camp.
Really open-ended question. Interpret it whichever way. What does being a tough defense mean?
A tough defense, literally playing physical, making tackles, being intimidating out there, but mentally tough as well. Being able to handle when someone throws a 35-yard bomb and now they're inside the 10-yard line and you come up with a big stop. Or having a team backed up and being able to put pressure and make them punt the football or cause a turnover. It's just the mentality that whatever happens, you're going to be okay. The cliche, bend but don't break. That's a real thing. Plays are going to be made. Tough defenses can reset. All right, it's 1st and 10. Let's start all over and get after it. But physically, I mean, come on. You want a defense that's knocking heads off out there, that, you know, when you catch a ball in the flat and that RB is trying to get upfield, he's going nowhere. He's getting chopped down. You know, it's that type of intensity that you want physically, but mentally it's handling the situations to where your back's against the wall or you're in a position to attack and make a play.
Longer cut here, two longer ones. One is about how Gray Zabel has looked.
Really excited about Gray. He's what we thought he was up to this point. I mean, he's going to be that. Again, hard to go, but like just certain intentionality, going through the drills, hitting his spots, communicating, being decisive with Charles on the left side. I think those guys are working really well together. So, really fired up to see him in the fall. With the great competition, the one-on-ones, getting the pads on. It's going to be a lot of fun to compete with the D-line.
And thoughts on the offensive line as a whole so far?
Well, I can tell you what, like right now, what are you looking for? You want growth every day. You want the guys having the right mindset, finishing plays the right way. You can't do it physically, but you can chase the ball. You can run out of the stack. You can take the line of scrimmage. So the operation right now is good. I think it's something that we're still chasing. I mean, I'd say very good. But we'll see. And there's a lot of competition. Like we haven't settled some of the spots, and that's good. That means we have a lot of guys that are options. So that's exciting.
I'm surprisingly, I don't want to say optimistic about the offensive line. I actually have quite a few doubts, but I am more optimistic than I was, let's say, at the end of last season. And that's in part because of what I keep hearing. It's not what I keep saying. I don't know how to watch an offensive line in OTAs. Just blatantly honest with you. If someone was like, how'd the offensive line look? I'd say they were there. I don't know. I have no idea. But what I'm hearing from you, from some other former players or analysts is, hey, I feel optimistic about what Kubiak and what this coaching staff could do.
Yeah, I think that's all you have right now, too, is to look at the scheme, what the personnel looks like, and how they're being coached, because there are no pads on right now. Once they get pads on, and then we'll have a better idea of what they can do. But, yeah, for the first phase in this change of the guard or switching up the offense, I think this O-line looks okay.
Yeah.
They look like they're getting to the right spots. Looks like communication is on point. Looks like they're being coached with intent. They're being coached hard, too, and I like that. That's typically the personality of O-line coaches anyway. So for what we have to evaluate, I think they're moving in the right direction. Pads come on, then we'll have a better idea.
Let's talk about what the offense is doing or plans to do to put pressure on the defense.
It allows the quarterback to play decisive. It puts pressure on the defense. It does. You can't get fancy because you'll get gashed. So you have to play sound football at all times. It's going to separate the levels of the defense. So it's putting like your second level players in conflict consistently as a play caller. You're taking risks consistently, if you really want to put pressure on the offense. So, and it's all systematic. So it's not like, hey, do this one day and then do this the other day. It's just, no, we kind of live in this lane, and then we, scramble it up and make it look different and take advantage of matchups that way. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
I think I know the answer to this question, Bump. Did this offense last year do a good job of putting pressure on defenses?
At times.
Yeah.
Not consistently.
How do you do that? Maybe not consistently. Like, there's a lot of answers, but like, how do the best offenses put pressure on defenses?
By being able to do multiple things. Run, throw, be physical, pick up third and shorts, go on these long drives, be efficient in the red zone, be great on first down, take care of the football, limit the turnovers. I mean, there's a lot of things that good offenses do. And some of the things that I mentioned, I know as soon as I said it, people are listening and saying, well, they didn't do that in the Seahawks. But they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Weren't great on third down. Wasn't great in the red zone. Didn't protect the football. Like, there are some things that, turnovers are going to happen. You're not going to convert every time in the red zone, but those are the glaring things. Those are the things that anybody watching football can say, all right, they didn't do well in that situation. So take care of the basic situations in football, and everything else should fall in line.
We'll get back to football talk at 11:15. Rowland-Smith joining us next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
In Cal, you're seeing a superstar start to develop. He's starting to get that national recognition. It's always been, when you talk about the Mariners, you'd sort of talk about the rotation as a whole. Sure. Talking about an individual, it's been Julio. And it feels like Cal is starting to move into that spot. Now, here's the thing. Neither, by baseball standards, are being paid as a superstar.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Tyrese live at Muckleshoot Event Center, Sunday, July 13th, 8 p.m. You've seen him on the screen. You've heard him on the radio. Now see him live for an unforgettable night. Get tickets before they sell out at MuckleshootCasino.com. Tyrese, only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Calling all contractors and equipment operators. The James G. Murphy Auction Company rolls out this month one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the block, find an incredible collection of heavy equipment, contractors' equipment, and vehicles, like a 2004 John Deere 400C rock truck, a 2010 John Deere 450D LC excavator, a 2001 John Deere 650H LT dozer, and a 2014 Kenworth T800. In contractors' equipment, we have attachments, live edge and dimensional lumber, contractor tools, even a wheel wash system, and much more up for bid. Whether you're building roads, moving earth, or running a construction outfit, we got what you need. Bidding is underway now and closes at 10 a.m. June 19th. Preview all items June 17th and 18th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures and details of all items, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Spring is here, and I know you want to look and feel your best as you head into this new season. Are you tired of the roller coaster of losing weight just to see it all come back again? Maybe you've heard about the new drugs but are concerned with the possible side effects, or you're taking weight loss drugs but also want to learn how to change your lifestyle for long-lasting results. We can help you. We have a team of health coaches that can support you every step of the way. Schedule your free 15-minute, no-pressure phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here with Rowland-Smith.
Thanks, Mike. I've been hearing for about 2 years now how you did the Eastside Weight Loss Clinic plan, and you lost a ton of weight. So I decided to see what the program was all about, and I'm so glad I did. So far, I've lost 30 pounds, and my only regret is not starting sooner.
Join the thousands of people who've lost 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. It doesn't matter where you live. You can do our program in person in Kirkland or all remotely. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners have an off day today before opening a series against the Guardians tomorrow. Extra innings coming up live at 7 to get you ready with a preview for this weekend's games.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Ryan Rowland-Smith joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Our weekly visit with Ryan brought to you by Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Hey, Ryan, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. Excited for the Mariners to hopefully bounce back this weekend, and we will look ahead to this series against the Guardians on this off day. But first, unfortunately, a quick look back to figure out what's going on with this team. What are you seeing from the offense?
I think, offensively, just trying to get some sort of balance. It's funny. I was talking to, when we were in San Diego, I was talking to their bench coach, Brian Esposito. And every time they sort of, write up their pre-plans before the game, he said, man, the one thing, and this is back during that road trip when the team was, kicking it on off, just kicking on all cylinders up and down the lineup. He said it's a really tough lineup compared to these other teams we've faced to match up against for different reasons. Because you had, some of the elements. Obviously, hitting down the bottom of the lineup was big. You had that power threat, in the middle. Julio was doing, I think he looks better now, a little bit more disciplined now. But there's just so many parts of that lineup. So I think they're just there's just not that same balance in the lineup. And I think, too, just coming up in big situations is being tough. And going back even to that, California against the Angels, it's like you're looking around and go, okay, who else is going to step up here and do big things, outside of Cal Raleigh, even going back to the homestand. So, look, it's been tough. I think Polanco's starting to get the ball off the ground a little bit more, but I'm still looking at, I think we're transitioning here into, I think you're going to ask me about the pitching. It's just so difficult to do good things consistently if you don't have the same pitching, not to mention the fact that your brain is still sort of fixated on what we did well in 2024 from a rotation standpoint. They just don't have that element this year in the pitching. Whether they find it or not, I think they will in the second half, but that pitching has really cost them.
Speaking of pitching, what'd you see? How do things just go so bad so quickly for Wu, having himself a good day and then just have that blow-up inning? Was it mechanics? Was it mental? Was he not hitting his spots? What'd you see?
I hate to say it, but it comes down to just a couple pitches in a situation where, looking back, first of all, okay, overall, view of it, he got away from the fastball a little bit more. He went more change-ups and sliders, and sometimes if they're not as consistent as his fastball, well, then he can get into a little bit of trouble. But it gets to a point where you're getting second, third times, 3 looks at him, and you can start to cheat a little bit. And not to mention, too, leading into that, Gino home run, it's a situation. It's like, all right, I've seen this fighter. I can see that I'm not going to chase because he wasn't getting that chase off the plate. And you got that pitch middle of the plate. He's like, all right, I can sit on this pitch. If I see something a little bit further down, I'm not going to chase the fastball up because that's where you're going to try and get me. But if I can just kind of out of your hand see something down, that's going to stay on plane long enough, and I'm going to do some damage. And that's exactly what he did. And then the at-bat after that, he went up and in on Pavin Smith, and he cheated to that pitch. And he did an amazing job to get to that pitch. So it really came down to a couple pitches. But I think for Brian Wu, I think so much now, because everyone knows about how effective that fastball is, they're going to start looking in different spots in the strike zone to attack him. And I think if that slider of his, which, look, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if that slider is not getting off the plate enough, he can find some damage spots for sure.
Going back to the lineup and kind of looking 1 through 9, is this an overall talent issue? Is it something we just should have seen coming? Or, and Bump was pointing out that they were performing much better offensively earlier. Is this a performance issue?
I think the lineup. It's not like a situation where the swing and miss has just gone from 22% to 28% in the last couple of weeks, especially these last 2 series. So the swing and miss is staying right around where it's at, 22, 23%. And that was always going to be the glaring issue, even for Cal Raleigh, right? Cal's just breaking out in the power numbers, but you're not seeing the same strikeout numbers. Julio had a really good series in against the Angels. Mm-hmm. There was a couple of bats too where he laid off and was able to get a good pitch to hit. So the plate discipline is there. I just think that it's just not happening right now whether it's a situation where you're getting that 3-1 count and you're doing damage or whatever it is. But when you sort of look at the foundation of the lineup and say, all right, okay, enough talent is there. That's great. The swing and miss is not getting crazy up in the 25, 28%. Okay, the chase is not going crazy here. What can you do when you get to those 2-1 counts? And they're just not doing it right now.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Julio has more balance in his swing. He looks like he's hitting the ball hard, right? Stranded 2 times on second base yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where the help is coming from. And when you look at the rest of the lineup, like, do you see a player that feels like they're starting to figure some things out? I mean, Solano went deep the other day. Is there a player you feel like is trending in the right direction that can help the squad?
I feel like there's a new version of the 7-8-9. And look, you look at some of the good lineups around baseball. Yeah, I'll throw the Mets out there. I'll throw the Dodgers out there, obviously. Look at what the 7-8-9 guys are doing. And all of a sudden, you've got Cole Young, who's starting to just take a breath and starting to fill in nicely. All of a sudden, Ben Williamson's starting to make better contact, not being so predictable down the bottom of that lineup as well. And so you have situations here where you can have a little bit more length in that lineup. So that's one thing. I still think, when you go back to the month of April, Polanco was such a huge threat. He's getting there. I feel like the ball's starting to get off the ground a little bit. But man, if Polanco can do 60 to 70% of what he did in the month of April, it's going to change things for the guys around him, if that makes sense. Man, but he's getting there. I can see it. I keep watching. I feel like every day I'm just seeing something. It's like, can you get okay? April was like this crazy bar you set, but how do we get just a little closer to that? It's getting the ball off the ground and cutting the chase down to get those good counts, like I talked about earlier. So I think if Polanco, if he's capable, or you know what, hey, if he goes back to that version of 2023, 2024, where it's more of the power's not quite the same as what we saw in April, but he's hitting line drives, finding grass, that's going to make a huge change as well, staying up the middle.
Hey, I want to get back to your last answer. You mentioned those 2-1 counts, and that's just the best place you've been able to isolate it because you're not seeing chase rates go crazy or swing and miss go crazy. Is it like decision making? Like, what are you seeing on 2-1 counts, I guess?
I think that when you go back to, I'm trying to pinpoint which road trip because it all sort of blurs, but there was a time, and okay, I'll go back to that. I'll go back to the Boston road trip. That trip when they're in Boston, or San Diego when I was talking to Brian Esposito, that bench coach. You get to a place where you can, you talk about the swing decisions. You can get someone who's trying to make you chase or trying to throw their best bullet at you, especially second, third time through, and you don't chase it. That slider off a plate, don't chase it. And then all of a sudden you get into a place, that change up for, like I'm just going back to this last, this last batch of games, right? Like they got Merrill Kelly, really good changeup, right? And so tip your cap. But there's times where you can face, and they've done it to really good pitching, where that best secondary pitch, it's boom, I'm not chasing. Oh man, all of a sudden I'm 2-1. Guess what? They're going to come back in the strike zone if they want to have a chance. And that's where you have to hit over the fence, but it's driving that ball into the gap or driving that ball and finding outfield grass. And you're just not seeing that. You're seeing maybe just a little bit of pressing going on, because you are struggling, so you're trying to do a little bit too much, getting caught out in front of that pitch. But you've just been seeing a lot of that, especially in this D-back series, especially coming off, tough one down in Anaheim, the way they did, and going into a place like Arizona, and you feel like, man, there's just that little bit of pressing on those counts where you got to let that ball come to you a little bit more, get something out over the plate.
Do you think we've spoken to several people and analysts, and they talk about how they think this Mariners team needs an arm. And Ryan, I'm thinking you can have the greatest rotation in the world. If you can't put up runs, and how are you going to win ball games? Trade deadline, I'm still looking at a bat as of now. Things could change from now until then. What are your views, and have they shifted? Have you gone from bat to arm to bat, or has it been consistent for you?
Well, it's so funny. Maybe I look through too much of a pitcher's lens here. I go the other way around. It doesn't matter how many runs you score, man, if you can't pitch. So if you look at look at the month of June, all of a sudden the starter's ERA is up in the 4.5s. The bullpen ERA, man, there is some holes. We haven't even gotten to the bullpen yet. There are some holes in that bullpen. Trent Thornton is not the same coming off of that off his appendectomy, right? And it's going to take a little bit of time. And I have no doubt, because he went on a run last year, at the end of last year, when he figured some stuff out. So he will be fine, I'm sure of it. But, man, you've got some holes in that bullpen. And when your starting pitching is not getting deep in the game or averaging, like 6.5 innings like they were last year in 2024 as a staff, that bullpen gets exposed. So I'm kind of opposite to you, to be honest with you. And I'll get to what they can add here in just a minute. But offensively, you know what? They're down around 3 runs a game right now in the month of June. They got up to 4.5 when things were going well. Obviously, that's going to change. You're going to get a few more runs. I get it. But, man, I keep saying this. I sound like a broken record, man. The pitching on this team, the way they're built, the pitching, it has to be that foundation. And I'm not quite sure what to expect now from Bryce Miller, going off and on the IL. I think maybe he rushed himself back, and I get it. A little bit too quick. George Kirby looks great. Logan Gilbert's coming back. That's all well and good. But I think adding, whether it be that one starting pitcher or a bullpen arm, just to lighten the load a little bit, would be massive. And I think that, not saying that you just got to put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, they made moves last year to get, a couple. You go back even Victor Robles, and then Rosarena, Justin Turner. But they also got Yimi Garcia as well. And that was he was big in regards to filling that void. He didn't pitch that great, but it was good because it kind of filled that void, which I really think they have. Look, Matt Brash is back. I get it. Munoz is doing his thing, but man, there are some. It gets really lean there in the middle at the moment, and that's where I think they're really getting let down right now. Is in that bullpen.
Kind of extending this question to the profile of the player you'd like to see them add. If trade deadline comes, or if they make a move and they do add to the bullpen, what's that piece of the puzzle like? What does the profile look like? What kind of player fits well?
I'm talking. If you're talking on the pitching side.
Yes, from the bullpen.
Yeah, I'd go out and I go back and forth about this, because I would say, in one hand, go out and get a second closer, right? Someone to fill that. Look, if you get someone to fill that 8th inning, and you got a Matt Brash in that sort of that pivot role, and you get some of these other arms that are good, like you're talking about Gabe Spire, good with runners on, and you can fill up that 8th and 9th. Guess what? You're starting pitching, man. You don't have to go as deep like you're so hardwired thinking you're going to go 6.5 innings from all your starting pitchers. And so, in my opinion, I would like to see, man, don't get someone to fill a gap, right? Go out, if you are going to keep it minimal in the bullpen, in the trade deadline, and you keep it small, if that's what they do, then you know what? Go out and go a little bit harder on someone who's been proven, had a good couple months of throwing 98, consistent, getting that, whether it's a save opportunity or getting that 8th inning, and slot him in behind Andres Munoz. It's going to do wonders to that bullpen.
Ryan, do you feel like there's enough talent with the bats to stay competitive? I mean, going back to my last question. So you said you'd rather go with an arm, a bullpen arm, or a starting arm.
I know where you're going with this.
I'm looking at the roster. I'm saying, so you think there's enough talent that on this roster when it comes to swinging the bats that they're gonna catch fire again? Like, how are you looking at this lineup?
Yeah, I think it all depends on a couple things. First of all, Victor Robles. Is Victor Robles going to be back? I think they need to really key in on that, because you have that athleticism at the top of the lineup, which I think is massive. So a lot of it depends on if Victor Robles comes back. That's number one. And then you've got, some, I'll even throw Ryan Bliss. What's the situation with him, depending on what Cole Young ends up doing as this season goes on? What are you going to, and so, for me, it's a little too early to figure out whether or not you need to just bolster just with one bat when you haven't quite seen what Cole Young is capable of, and what you haven't quite seen to see if Victor Robles is trending in a August, September. And we're not talking the last 2 weeks of September, where I'm not worried about it. I'm talking if he can get back at some point in the month of August, I think that changes things as well. I just feel like, man, this team, the swing and miss is cut down from last year. We saw what they did in August and September offensively. And, Bump, you're probably going to ask me this question again if I don't answer it for you. But I just feel like you still have to see what you have in a Cole Young and see what you have coming off the IL and how quickly they can get back before you kind of make that decision offensively.
Don't forget to go to mariners.com/kangaroo to get your tickets for the first ever Kangaroo Court in honor of Ryan in Australia. Tickets come with a limited edition Kangaroo Court t-shirt. Do you get a t-shirt? Or do you actually?
I've got, Stacy, I've got a whole box of them at home. First thing I said, they sent me a photo. I said, "This is what the t-shirt's going to look like." I said, "I need these now. Like, I need a whole box."
Multiple sizes. Yeah. He is Ryan Rowland-Smith. Ryan, thanks so much.
Thanks, Ryan.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down bump, what would be a fair compromise between the NFL owners and the NFLPA for an 18-game season?
So the owners, man, they want more money. And they know if you play an extra game, extra regular season game, that money's going to flow. They also want to add 6 international games, right? They had 10 previously. They want to add 6. So all the players are asking for is for a playing surface that they like, which is grass, right? Good compromise. If you want to play more football, you want to send them overseas, and they're just asking for grass fields, let's make it happen. Because what happens is when you do have the World Cup is coming here, right? And you have all these international soccer games, what they do anyway is they flip the stadium. They put grass over the turf. And I understand why the owners don't want to go to grass, because it's easier to maintain turf, right? You cross out X amount of dollars just because you have turf over there. But if you're asking more of your players, these veterans, these guys have been in the league for a while, at least give them a surface that they want to play on. I don't even know what the injury numbers are, but I know that if I had an opportunity to play on SEC grass, was I have, versus Northwest turf, I'm going to choose the grass every single time. It feels better, it feels natural. Obviously, it is natural, but that's an easy compromise. You want more, give them grass.
What does it feel like as a player? Is there just like a little more give or bounce back? Or?
It's softer once you get tackled.
Yeah.
And it's more predictable on its reaction when your cleats dig into it. Good grass at least. Now, there's some garbage grass out there, but get that. I played at Auburn, the best grass I've ever played on in my life.
So we need to all go to Auburn.
Yeah.
Do whatever studies we need to do to replicate that grass. Second down. How do you think the Rams dodged a bullet?
So I just read an article saying that the Rams were interested in Aaron Rodgers. First, they said we wanted to take care of Matthew and try to get that done. But they're like, look, we were fully prepared to go after Aaron Rodgers if this didn't work out. They completely dodged a bullet. Why would you want to get rid of him? Now, I know how much you love Matthew Stafford, Stacy. You're the president of the Matthew Stafford fan club.
Not true.
All right? You dodged a bullet because now you kept a guy who knows your offense, who you trust. And it says, look, going through that situation to where there was some uncertainty brought those guys together. Matthew Stafford is a Rams guy. You bring over Aaron Rodgers, man, I feel like, yes, Sean McVay is a strong personality, but just because of his age alone, I think that dynamic, that relationship might be a bit different, and Aaron might give some more pushback. So yes, they dodged a bullet, but they were interested. They said they were interested in Aaron Rodgers back in 2021 as well. Stay away from him. You guys are fortunate to have Matthew Stafford. How many times do you think he's been a Pro Bowler in his career?
3.
2 times.
God, and that was being generous. I was like, it's got to be a low number.
Yeah, only 2 times. I looked that up, and he's a good ball player and a better fit. The personality is a better fit, and that means a lot. I know you can look at his numbers. Didn't play great last year. Didn't play every game last year. Completed 65% of his passes, 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. But it's deeper than just football. Matthew is a Rams guy. They love him over there. You dodged a bullet. Good job, Rams.
Third down. Who do you think needs to have a big year, or he may be gone?
I ain't talking here, though, so don't get all hyped up. I'm about to say a Seahawk is gone.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey, and I'm thinking, look, he's 30 years of age, about to be 30 years of age. Played 4 games last year. He had 2 solid seasons with the San Francisco 49ers. But if you look at the way his career has gone, his rookie year, not so great. Then he puts together 2 1,000-yard seasons, catches the football and all that. Then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons to where it's subpar. Then he puts together 2 more good seasons. It's just so up and down for him. And because he's so dynamic, because he's going to touch the football 300 to 400 times, it's wearing his body down. And this is going to be telling for him. He's accounted for $16 million on the 49ers salary cap. And if he can't perform, if he is slowing down, if he can't put together a 1,000-yard season, having 500 yards receiving, they might want to move on from Christian McCaffrey. As great as he is, every dog has his day. So I hope he plays well, just not against the Seahawks.
They're about to have a baby.
Are they?
Yeah, I follow his wife on Instagram, and so I just see constant updates. She's so beautiful. Fourth down. She's She's a celebrity. That's not weird.
Is she? She's like a model or something?
She's
right?
a former Miss Universe, and then does like a bunch of like pop culture, entertainment, news stuff.
All right,
Fourth down. What group needs to have a jump in production for this defense to shine?
The defensive backs, they need to shine, and I think they will shine. But they need to shine because it's all about taking the football away from the opponent. And last year, you had Woolen with 3 interceptions, Kobe with 3, and J. Love with 3. After that, you got a linebacker with 1, you got Leonard with 1, you got Hankins with 1, and then you have Josh Jobe with 1 as well. You got to be able to put pressure on the quarterback. I think they'll be able to do that. So because I think this defensive line is going to be great, Leo's going to be fine. Because I think the edge rushers are going to get after him. Because the linebackers are going to be good, that's going to allow the guys on the back end to take more risk. All right, that's going to force the quarterback to toss the football up in the air and in places he shouldn't do that. If this group alone, I'm just talking, let's go J. Love, Kobe Bryant, and Woolen. Right, there's 9 interceptions between them. If they can get to 15 to 16 interceptions, which is a big ask though, but if they can get there, I think this defense takes a even bigger step forward. We focus on the box a lot with this defense, and we should, because I think they're talented, and that's where all the mind games come into play when it comes to Macdonald with the blitz and the stunts and twists and all that good stuff. But because we believe in that box so much, that means the back end should have more production, and I think they will. These guys got to step it up. You got Rick Woolen, who's coming into a contract year. You got Kobe, who's coming into a contract year. Typically, guys step it up a bit. So a secondary, man, take the football out the air.
A quick exercise for us in the final minute 30 of this segment. If I were to say about Curtis Rogers, Bump, you like most things about Curtis except for this. Like, despite this.
Why are you starting beef?
Despite.
Trying to drive a wedge between them?
Right?
Despite fill in the blank, Curtis is a pretty great guy.
I got nothing. We
Nothing?
ain't doing that. What
Oh
are
my
you
God!
doing?
What?
His new haircut.
Despite his
His
new
dress
haircut,
sense,
despite his
bad jokes.
despite his unwarranted hate of the Washington Huskies, Curtis is a pretty great guy.
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay, Curtis, what if you were to do it for Bump? You guys are not playing into my game right now.
You're messy. You're
no.
reality TV.
No.
Messy.
No.
This is not Bravo. This ain't Real Husbands of South Lake Union.
Despite Bump's love of the Dodgers.
Okay,
cool
yeah. Dodgers and
Hat
Lakers.
collection.
That's easy.
No, hat addiction.
Hat addiction.
Yeah,
Hat
I have
addiction.
one of those, I have one of those.
You know what?
Despite Curtis Rogers' knowledge for beating me in the trivia games, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we like most things about Matt, except
That's just a lie.
Except for
the
that
way he talks to his coworkers.
No, that's
his
in
terrible
the
work
like
ethic,
about you category.
His constant showing up late.
I would say except for not constant showing up late, but that one time you showed up late, and then also except
One time
for
you
I don't
showed
get
up like
Doctor
3
Who.
hours into the show.
Yeah, 3 hours into the show. Thanks for getting
Like,
here.
why are you here? Just you should
Just
stay
take the day
home.
off.
Okay, I know this is a messy exercise that's a little whatever, but Cooper Kupp answered it for Sam Darnold. That's coming up next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
Chance to catch up with Bryce Miller. Appreciated your candor. You were coming out going, man, I haven't felt good. I don't feel good. Was it starting to become a mental thing where you're trying to compensate?
It's a tough game. It's a tough league, whenever you feel good. And you're not always going to feel 100% throughout a season, but it was just, I think I had 8 starts, and all 8, there wasn't a single start where I felt 90%.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Calling all contractors and equipment operators. The James G. Murphy Auction Company rolls out this month one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the block, find an incredible collection of heavy equipment, contractors' equipment, and vehicles, like a 2004 John Deere 400C rock truck, a 2010 John Deere 450D LC excavator, a 2001 John Deere 650H LT dozer, and a 2014 Kenworth T800. In contractors' equipment, we have attachments, live edge and dimensional lumber, contractor tools, even a wheel wash system, and much more up for bid. Whether you're building roads, moving earth, or running a construction outfit, we got what you need. Bidding is underway now and closes at 10 a.m. June 19th. Preview all items June 17th and 18th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures and details of all items, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party.
which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Take advantage of Lake Washington Windows hot savings. $750 off per window and $1,500 off per door with leak armor installation. And enjoy 12-month same-as-cash financing only through June. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD from Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Dr. Wagner is hosting a free stem cell webinar to explain stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
And which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join him for the free stem cell webinar and learn all about this amazing procedure.
Join Dr. Wagner for his free stem cell webinar Wednesday, June 18th. Register now at drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It's The Timeline on Bump and Stacy, bringing you the top stories you're going to see and hear about on your own timeline. Let's start with this one from Seahawks mandatory minicamp. Cooper Kupp likes most things about Sam Darnold. Emphasis on most things.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he kind of has a childish taste, like palate. You know, like we went out to dinner and he's I mean, I don't know. I don't trust him yet with the food recommendations or things like that. He said he wanted to go to dinner. I was like, perfect. That's what sounds good. And I mean, it just the recommendations, kind of the way it came off was like he wanted to go get some, fries and chicken strips. And I was like, look, I have a 6-year-old. I can bring you his food. We can go. I'll go. I can bring that, and I'll go eat something good. So yeah, that was. But it ended up being fine. Like he ventured out and was like, okay. He was at least willing to try some stuff, and it seems like maybe I may have misread him. We'll see.
Look, I think that Cooper's trying to be professional, and he's like, I don't want to call out a restaurant by name, but my gut tells me, Bump, that Sam Darnold, millions of dollars, said, let's go get Chili's. And Cooper Kupp said, what? I want a steak. I want sushi. I want pasta. What are you talking about?
First off, can we stop the chicken strips and fries shaming, okay?
No.
Those are fire.
They're good.
They're fired.
But
you're not better than chicken strips and fries.
Aren't you?
Everybody here eats chicken strips and fries.
Sure.
If he wants chicken strips and fries, you let him eat chicken strips and fries.
Would you rather have a delicious steak or chicken strips and fries?
Depends on what mood I'm in. Depends on what mood I'm in. I don't always want a steak. Sometimes I want chicken strips and fries, all right? Stop shaming that. Just because we're adults doesn't mean we can't have chicken strips and fries.
The chicken strips and fries contingent spoken, being like, defend Sam Darnold at all costs.
Yeah.
Jalapeno poppers are delicious. Loaded baked potatoes are fine.
Dive bar status. Let's go.
Well, it's like if you're going to, Fogo de Chao or something, and you're like, can I just get a basket of chicken strips?
Well, that's different. You go to those places, you know what you're up for.
People of Cooper Kupp and Sam Darnold's
They're
tax
millionaires.
bracket, they're eating at those kinds of places.
Well, look, all of that food is fine, okay? I would eat a frozen pizza any day. But if I think we're going out for hey, let's go out and have a dinner, man. Let's get some good food. And we pull up to an Applebee's. I'm wondering what we're doing there. Are you picking up a friend?
Y'all bougie, man. Y'all bougie.
So what?
Chicken strips and fries, just fine. It depends on where you're at, though, right? Yeah, if you're at Fogo, I don't order that.
Yeah.
But if you're at Duke's or something and you just want chicken strips and fries, get your chicken strips and fries.
I think you should get chowder. I think if you're at Duke's, you should instead get seafood.
Big up Duke's, too, because I go there
Duke's
with
is
buddies.
delicious.
And it's seafood, and your boy don't do seafood.
Yeah.
And they have options for your boy. So thank you for that, Duke.
Oh, that's why you're defending the chicken strips and fries.
Yeah, because sometimes that's all you got, you know?
Yeah, I get it. They're there for you when no one else is.
Precisely.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I appreciate it. I thought it was funny. Obviously, chicken strips and fries are good. Everyone likes French fries. They would be on my Rushmore foods. But I thought it was funny. Cooper Kupp kind of getting to know Sam Darnold. You want to know that these two guys are spending time together off the field. And I liked the exercise. It's the same reason I had you guys do it. You like everything about someone except, look, I'm going to throw up the red flag on his taste in food.
Cubby's like, we're at Daniel's, dog. We at Daniel's.
What do you mean
We're at
chicken strips and fries? You're almost 30. What are you doing? And I know that before anyone says it, my food takes aren't always appreciated on this show. However, I don't think they're childish food takes. I don't think I have a young palate. I think I just have a particular one.
I'd agree.
You know? Yeah. I'm moving on. The North Carolina media got a chance to ask Bill Belichick about his whirlwind first off season.
No, she doesn't have any role in the UNC football program. But again, there's been, noise out there about a lot of different things. Again, our focus is, day to day, getting better, stacking good days together, having good rest, recovery, and training, moving forward the next day. And from the coaching staff to focus on, how do we help our team get better? That's my job. That's our staff's job is to put a good plan in place so that they can, if they do the work, that they see the improvement. And so, that's what our job is.
And Bill was asked about the biggest misconception is with UNC.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm really focused on, doing my job here at Carolina, which is to help our football team. And that's, just to get better every day, to stack those days together, training days, preparation days, days out on the field. And we've done that. And, our staff's, again, done a great job of working hard to do that. So, that's my big focus. I mean, is there noise out there? We've always dealt with that. Really, our job is to build the football team and for the team to, help build the team and also build their individual careers. So that's really where we're at.
Now, this scandal / relationship that he's had with Jordan Hudson.
Why is it a scandal?
I know. I should say it's not. It's a scandalous topic. The age gap is obviously scandalous. Traditionally,
Man, that's
defined.
his boo. That's his boo.
The adult
It's just a
consensual relationship
Just a
he's
relationship.
in, just a relationship, has drawn so much attention away from UNC that I could not tell you a single thing about the Tar Heels football program this year.
I know that the collective is doing a great job supporting Bill Belichick. He's able to pay his coaches well. I think they're one of the best paid staffs in the game right now. And he doesn't have to give back some money because what was it, June 1st date, Curtis, with the Bill Belichick thing? His contract?
It about 11 days ago went down to $1 million.
All right, so
That's a bargain.
That's what I know about him. Couldn't tell you about the program, their players, nothing like that.
Joe Flacco, next story here, sounds every bit of 40 years old when he was asked about his teammates making TikTok videos.
I've been on Instagram. That's the only thing I've ever logged in on in my life. I won't download the other things because I don't miss them. If you told me you're taking Instagram away, I've been on it. I'm too far down the road, but like Twitter and all those other things, I won't even download it on my phone just because I know it's a trap to just, get sucked in.
You're not going to do the dance on TikTok then?
No TikTok dances. The fact that people, that is different too. This generation, the fact that people want to get on their phones and show people the most, that's embarrassing. You're an adult, be an adult. It's just I can't wrap my head around that. And I get it. You have kids and you want to have fun with your kids. Have fun with your kids in private. That's what I think.
Does that make you more guarded, Joe?
I'm not guarded. I don't think I'm guarded at all. I think honestly, if you talk to me in person, I'll tell you a lot. I'll be pretty honest with you. But on social media, no chance. No
I
chance.
swear that was Michael Bumpus on the mic at Browns practice. That's so wild.
Yeah, my daughter asked me to do a TikTok dance with her, and I did it, but I said, you can't post it. You just keep this for yourself.
For your memories.
Yeah, I'm not, no. I have TikTok and don't even use it.
I will use it to look at funny videos. I've never been into the dance videos or just the videos that people post where, I don't know. I like funny TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
Funny TikToks are genuinely funny. Just a quick little video. You're laughing out loud. Fine. I don't really use it for anything else, and I've never posted anything, and that's where the generational divide starts for me. The generational divide, I'm all over Instagram, I scroll through Instagram. Pinterest and Twitter are older. Everyone's already had those. I don't have Facebook anymore, but that's old news, right?
Is Pinterest still a thing?
I'll use it.
Yeah.
I don't post, but I'll go through it. I use plenty of social media accounts. I don't. TikTok is where it ended for me. That's where I had to retire and hang the cleats up, and there's an aspect to that level of social media with especially Gen Zers that I don't get, and I feel so old.
I am Instagram and Twitter. That's all. I don't even rock with Facebook. Every now and then I'll jump on Facebook and look, but my Instagram is connected to my Facebook, so it's the same thing to me. Yeah, I'm Instagram, Twitter. I'm Gucci. No Snap, no TikTok.
ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum is not buying the Steelers' hype after their signing of Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be irrelevant by Thanksgiving.
Irrelevant.
Wow.
By Thanksgiving?
Whoa, yeah. A non-playoff team, a 42-year-old quarterback who's a legend that's going off into the sunset.
Explain this to me, because I think, tell me how the Steelers are not going, particularly with a little bit of an easier early schedule. They're always relevant deep into the season. This is going to be the year it falls apart?
Yeah, agree. The inverse is tell me why they're going to be relevant, because they're the third best team in the division. They're going to have to find out about Will Howard, who they drafted from Ohio State, who I think is very intriguing. I don't think they could really win this division.
What do you think about Tannenbaum saying irrelevant? Not just I don't see him as a playoff team. They're going to be irrelevant by Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm looking at their schedule to see if, what it looks like. They go New York, Seattle, New England, Minnesota, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Green Bay, Indy, Los Angeles, the Chargers, Cincy, and then you got the Bears. Irrelevant, I don't know.
Yeah.
But not a severe threat, probably. No one expects much from the Pittsburgh Steelers. The way he says it makes it a hot take, but I don't think anyone expects the Steelers to be a real contender this year.
No.
So he's right, I think, but he going a little too hard.
He went a little harsh. You know what I mean? You threw a little spice on it. that you didn't need to.
Yeah.
The Seattle Mariners return home to T-Mobile Park this Friday, June 13th, to begin a 6-game homestand featuring matchups against the Guardians and Red Sox. Fans can look forward to sing-along fireworks night, African American Heritage Night with a Steelheads cap giveaway, and Father's Day socks giveaways. Fans can purchase tickets for all games during the homestand at mariners.com/tickets. What one former GM is hearing about the Mariners a month and a half away from the trade deadline. That's next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
In Cal, you're seeing a superstar start to develop. He's starting to get that national recognition. It's always been, when you talk about the Mariners, you'd sort of talk about the rotation as a whole. Sure. Talking about an individual, it's been Julio. And it feels like Cal is starting to move into that spot. Now, here's the thing. Neither, by baseball standards, are being paid as a superstar.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Do you have a car you want to sell, but you just don't want to go through all the hassle? I don't blame you. With all the scams and security risks out there, more and more people are just not comfortable selling their own car. So what do you do if you want to get the most money for your car without selling it yourself? Stacy here with the answer. It's Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your used car and pay you right up front for it, but once they resell your old car, they share half the profit with you. The question I get most is, well, what's the catch? But there isn't one. Here's how it works. This program means Wayscar Ford saves money by not traveling to buy cars at auction, which means not paying purchase fees, shipping fees, and travel expenses. Now they can just share that saved money with you, their customer, rather than outside vendors. It's a win-win. They encourage you to shop around, but if Wayscar Ford can pay you the same or more as competitors and share half their profit with you once they resell your car, why would you go anywhere else? They've already shared over $800,000 with customers. It's only at Wayscar Ford in Auburn, wayscarford.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Do you know a woman that gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Maura Dooley here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th Annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at woiseattle.org.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and great news this August. Luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Yes, the hotel is finally opening. You can book now for an unforgettable summer experience at snocasino.com. Breathtaking views of the Cascades in Snoqualmie Valley, an expanded non-smoking gaming floor, awesome destination spa, a 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yes, new food venues, restaurants as well. You can book at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest. It's now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
You're free now. Free to stream beyond your wildest dreams.
Rom-coms, slasher-coms, space operas.
Free to fill your feed with impossibly chonky chonkers.
Cats, corgis, babies on demand.
Free to make your smart devices do silly things.
Bowl of chips on the Robo-Vacuum.
Free to open a world of remote work and Gametopia.
Who's the boss now?
Free to be everything you imagine. That's how it feels to have Quantum Fiber Internet. Your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com.
Limited availability, service in select locations only.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We're a month and a half away from MLB's trade deadline, but why not talk about what we're already hearing? And by we, I mean the Athletics' Jim Bowden, the latest up on NewYorkTimes.com and theathletic.com. It's about what he's hearing ahead of the trade deadline. There are two sections here. I'm just going to read them, Bump. First, among their counterparts, front office executives believe Orioles general manager Mike Elias and Mariners president of baseball ops Jerry Dipoto are under the most pressure at this year's deadline. Elias, because he seems to be focusing on adding a top-of-the-rotation starter and doesn't appear to have the mindset to be a seller right now, though in my opinion he probably should be. His job could be on the line this trade deadline. In terms of Dipoto, many in the industry, Bump, you're going to like where this goes, believe he should add a significant bat to Seattle's lineup with a strong farm system and ownership willing to increase payroll. Interesting. There's no excuse not to this year. Then this, I know.
Increased by what?
I don't
2
know.
mil?
I don't know.
14 to 16?
Bowden writes.
What the heck?
Well-connected, former GM. With such a strong farm system and ownership willing to increase payroll, there's no excuse not to. Bowden also says the Mariners are looking to add a bat. He says the Mariners appear to be focused on acquiring a middle-of-the-order bat, either a first baseman or third baseman, and have one of the deepest farm systems in baseball from which to trade. They pair up perfectly with the Diamondbacks for either Naylor or Suarez.
Didn't they used to have a guy like Gino Suarez around here?
That's crazy. It's like, imagine if you, it's almost
Both
like
hit
you
grand
used to
slams
have Gino
against us.
Suarez. Yes.
They both hit grannies against us.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's been talking to. Well, increase it by what? Because I know off-season spending was increased by what, $2 million or something like that.
Essentially nothing.
I hope he's right. That'd be awesome because we've been here before and they haven't done anything. But I think he's right when it comes to Baltimore and the Mariners because obviously Baltimore came in with high hopes and expectations. They've fallen short, and then the Mariners start the season the way that they have, and they've stumbled a bit. The reason why I want to bet is because I believe that once the rotation is healthy, they'll be good enough to keep you competitive. I don't think Robles is going to come in and save the day. I don't think Luke is going to come in and save the day. Yeah. It's funny because these pitchers, obviously, they go through their rehab starts and all that stuff. And, sometimes you do that with the bats, too. But we just expect guys to hop back on a squad and just produce when guys who are here constantly don't even produce. Why would we expect Robles just to get here and be ready to go, or Luke to get here and be ready to go. I think there's going to be a ramp-up period for them too, right? They haven't seen live pitching in a game situation in a long time. But I think the rotation is good enough when healthy to be competitive. Are they going to be who they were last year and year before? Probably not. But even if they are something like that, that's a good rotation. The bats, I don't think the bats can touch who they were at the beginning of the season, mainly Polanco. So I'm like, yeah, go get yourself a bat. I agree with that. What I don't agree with, or I'm skeptical of, is ownership wanting to increase the spending.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I was surprised to hear that, or to read that, I guess. And we've had Jim Bowden on as a guest before, and he's also been somewhat defensive of Dipoto because he's been critical of a lack of spending. So this is coming from someone who is not only well-sourced, but who has also been critical of the Mariners' lack of spending.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll take his word for it, though.
yeah, well, and look, you're going to need to. I think it's I kept saying this too much last year and I overused it, but I mean it. It is like baseball malpractice to have a league that is this down. It's so lopsided between the AL and the NL. A league that is this down, a chance to win your division. Let's say you're floating around 500 and you don't go for it. Do I need to play Jordan's cut again about saying this team cannot afford to just keep building? What, are you just going to constantly just be like barely tapping the gas pedal going, oh, we'll just get to next year and then we'll be really good? You have a great farm system. And what? Where's your trophy? Where's your playoff appearance? Your great farm system. Oh, my God, you did it. You rebuilt it. And what? Yeah.
I didn't even think about a trophy.
No, and you know what? Fine. Get a wild card. If the wild card is all that's available to you, then chase that.
Go get it.
There is not enough that this team has given the city, that this organization, and I know this specific front office doesn't bear all the responsibility for that. I get it. But we're looking at 10 years now. You got to do more. You built up a farm system. Phenomenal. Genuinely. I mean that. Great arms. Genuinely a good job.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do more. And if that means making a trade you're slightly uncomfortable with so that you can bring back a player that you previously moved off from and you have to swallow some pride, then that's what you need to do.
Why do I feel like the organization is too prideful to do that?
I don't know that you're wrong.
You know? And yeah, I would love it. It's crazy. The two players they connected to the Mariners both hit grand slams on us. One was a walk-off. The other one just pretty much sealed the deal. Yeah, do something that you haven't done. Let's make ourselves uncomfortable because sometimes that's where you got to operate, right? Discomfort, because being comfortable has gotten you absolutely nothing. It got you one playoff appearance in 20 years.
Yeah. Again, it's like Bump said, you have to be uncomfortable. And if uncomfortable means dealing a prospect that maybe we're really looking forward to, maybe they seem to really love Ford, but maybe it's Ford for someone to help you this year.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, everyone that had a sense of urgency is maybe feeling a little, ooh, wait, I'm not comfortable with that. Well, that's the uncomfortable decision Dipoto and Justin are going to have to make. It's not going to be easy. No. I don't envy them, but you have to push forward this year.
Make a move.
You have to.
Bust a move.
Anyways, that's the latest from the Athletics, Jim Bowden. Interesting stuff there. The 2025 MLB All-Star ballot is open. Cal, Julio, JP, and the crew need your help to secure a spot at this year's Midsummer Classic in Atlanta. You can vote up to 5 times per day, every day through June 26 at MLB.com/vote. Sticking with baseball, sticking with the Mariners. MLB Network and ESPN baseball analyst Xavier Scruggs joins us next.
Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
We got a lot of baseball to talk with Jeff Passan today.
This is now a 29-game stretch where we're 11-18. Who are these Mariners on June 10th?
They're the team that at the beginning of the season we thought they were going to be and that they can't hit. Like, if Cal Raleigh is not in this lineup right now, I don't even know. They would look like the Rockies.
Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Calling all contractors and equipment operators. The James G. Murphy Auction Company rolls out this month one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the block, find an incredible collection of heavy equipment, contractors' equipment, and vehicles, like a 2004 John Deere 400C rock truck, a 2010 John Deere 450D LC excavator, a 2001 John Deere 650H LT dozer, and a 2014 Kenworth T800. In contractors' equipment, we have attachments, live edge and dimensional lumber, contractor tools, even a wheel wash system, and much more up for bid. Whether you're building roads, moving earth, or running a construction outfit, we got what you need. Bidding is underway now and closes at 10 a.m. June 19th. Preview all items June 17th and 18th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures and details of all items, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Jet City Harley sign and ride event. No cash down needed. Rates as low as 1.49% APR on select Harleys. Save thousands on interest at Jet City Harley Davidson. On approved credit on new 2024 Lowrider ST, Lowrider S, or Road Glide 3 models. See dealer for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a test of your emergency alert system.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Pacers have taken a 2-1 series lead in the NBA Finals after beating the Oklahoma City Thunder 116-107 last night. Game 4 tomorrow in Indianapolis. The Mariners have an off day today before opening a series against the Guardians tomorrow. Extra Innings gets you ready with a preview for this weekend's games. That comes up at 7 p.m. tonight on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bump and Stacy.
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
Former Major Leaguer Xavier Scruggs hosts the leadoff spot weekday mornings on SiriusXM's MLB Network radio channel. That show also simulcasts on MLB Network TV. He joins us right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Hey, Xavier, how's it going?
Hey, I'm going well. How are you?
Well, okay. The vibes are at an all-time low for the Mariners right now, but that's okay because there's a good chunk of the season left to play, trade deadline coming up, and we have questions for you on both of those as well as the College World Series, so we'll go ahead and get started. What have you seen from the Mariners this year?
Yeah, I think one of the big things with the Mariners is, there's been a little bit of the starting rotation quite hasn't been itself, right? It's been so dominant in the past, and now we're looking at a staff in general that's given up a lot more runs than we typically see it do. From an offensive standpoint, we saw it get off to a decent start. We've seen, Cal Rylee do some crazy things already. Some guys have some better starts to the season. But I think from an impact standpoint, you just need more consistency, right, on both sides of the ball. I look at it from a pitching standpoint and offense. In order for this team to be the best versions of themselves, they're going to have to be dominant from a pitching standpoint, and they're going to have to provide more consistent offensive games.
So there's a saying, right, in sports, and when things are going good and bad, it's never as good as you think, it's never as bad as you think. And I'm relating that to the Mariners right now. The start to the season is not as good as we thought it was. Right now, it's pretty bad. Is it as bad as we think it is, or do you feel like there's enough here for them to pull themselves out this run through?
No, absolutely there's enough. Just look at you can't afford to give yourself tough stretches like you're in right now, right? 2 of your last 10, you've lost 3 of the last 3 straight. And from a standpoint of working at home, like you've got to be better at home. You're under 500 at home. That's when you should be able to dominate teams a little bit more. And I think you got to look up in a positive sense because the division is not as tough as you might have thought it was, right? We thought the Rangers were going to be a lot better. They're one of the worst offenses in baseball. Houston is still only, 4 games ahead of you right now. This is an opportunity to where it's almost make or break, right? Like you figure out what type of team you have during these types of moments. And when you look at your own division, let alone, the rest of the American League, there's still opportunity there.
You look at Cal Raleigh's season, and we can actually talk about something really fun and really good that's happening. He's just been unreal. What impresses you most about what he's doing this year?
Yeah, I think what impresses me most, just the consistency from both sides of the plate, right? Oftentimes you don't get guys as consistent from a power standpoint on both sides of the plate, and he's been able to do that while manning a staff as well. That's not easy to do. Historically, he's doing some things on pace for, more than 60 home runs that we don't see catchers do in general. So it's a hot bat, but it's been consistent, and it's a player that's carried his team during clutch situations. A lot of games would not have been won if Cal Rylee didn't do what he had done even late in the game. So it's impressive. I think, without Aaron Judge doing what he's doing, you're talking about a typical MVP season for a guy like Cal Rylee.
Obviously, local fans are going to be a bit more critical of the players here than maybe the national media is. And really when it comes to Julio, people are, they're banging on the desk saying, we want more, we want more. And I think rightfully so. He has that type of potential. But he's having himself a decent season. How is he being viewed outside of the Northwest?
No, I think it can be disappointing for a player that, is a superstar, but at the same time hasn't played up to superstar expectations. I think that's the one thing we recognize is he's much more impactful than we've seen so far. And yes, he's, started to come along much better. He's notoriously a slow starter. But this is a player we've seen carry a team for at least a half of a season in previous seasons. So just talking about, and that goes for everybody though. You think about Randy Arozarena, same thing. Jorge Polanco, same thing. We've seen those guys have stretches to where they can carry teams. They need all of those guys going offensively at the same time to be the best versions of themselves.
We've been talking a lot about the trade deadline and how that kind of feels different with the expanded playoffs, and that there are just going to be, it's going to be a seller's market. Like, more teams are going to feel like they're in it. Have you noticed that as well with the trade deadline? Does it feel like there just aren't going to be that many sellers?
It doesn't, because, and I think you bring up a good point, because typically we see, some of these teams living up to expectations that may go after certain guys. And an example of kind of what we've seen this year is you have a Boston Red Sox team, a Baltimore Orioles team that was supposed to be, really good in the American League East. We may see them try to stick in the race a little bit, right? Those teams sometimes that we see 9 games back, 14 games back, we don't typically see them try to stay in it, but that might be the case for a team like the Red Sox. I look at, the Central, a lot of those teams still in the mix with, when you talk about Minnesota, Cleveland, Kansas City was in the postseason last year. And I think the same goes for a team that we're looking at toward the bottom of your own division in the Texas Rangers. The Angels are in a position still to be able to do something, and typically they might be a seller. So it's definitely one of those situations to where we may not see as many sellers this year as we typically do.
How valuable are the prospects here with the Mariners? We fans text into our show all the time, and they think the trade is so simple. Trade Harry Ford and grab yourself 2 bats, and you'll be good to go. And we try to tell them it doesn't necessarily work that way. How hard is it to get a bat at the trade deadline, and how valuable are prospects these days when it comes to those acquisitions?
No, it's not easy to do, and what makes it especially tough is when you've typically had good starting pitching, and those were the guys we were talking about could possibly be traded for a bat. I love Harry Ford, Cole Young, Cole Emerson, all of those guys. It's going to be a strong crew coming here pretty soon, but it's going to be tough to look at getting rid of some of those guys, because from a development standpoint, that's where the Seattle Mariners have to work from. They're not going to go out and buy, right? Free agency, they're not spending a lot of money. Even from a trade standpoint, you've had some other expectations that just haven't happened. So you need some of those guys to continue to help this organization. But at the same point, it may be more of a thought of looking at an arm at the trade deadline at this point, because you haven't had the same pitching, and we've seen guys go down. Now you've seen Gilbert not be available at this time. So it's just certain guys, even Bryce Miller. If I don't have those two, I may be looking to go at the trade deadline and see what's available from a starting pitching standpoint.
Who are the teams in the American League that feel like sure things? Because the thing that I think is getting me through a slump for the Mariners is thinking it feels like a pretty wide open league.
Yeah, no, and I, touching on that, I think that's what you have to look up towards is like, hey, that we're still in the race. Even as poorly as we've played at times, and even the stretches that we've gone through, we're still in it. The sure things, I mean, when I look at Houston, they're doing great things even without Yordan Alvarez in the lineup. So that to me looks like they have an opportunity to win the division. But that's not saying that the Mariners can't get a wild card spot, because I don't think there's many other sure things. I don't think Toronto, who has a wild card spot right now, is a sure thing. I don't think Minnesota, who has a wild card spot right now, is a sure thing. And that's where I think the opportunity lies for Seattle, is that there are not a whole lot of sure things in the American League. And from the National League side, that's almost the opposite. It looks like there's those teams at the top that are just going to take it and run with it. That's not the same for the American League, and I think that's a benefit to the Mariners right now.
Yeah, the AL West is it's a bit shaky right now. I think that's why I keep hope alive. You know what I mean? Because I realize that there's some opportunity here. But then I look at the roster and the lineup, and I see just some young bats at the bottom of the order, and it's hard for me to ask these young men to kind of perform consistently down there. But what do you think about the young talent here? I mean, you pull up Cole Young, you got Williamson who's been playing. What would be your approach with those young bats?
No, I think it's development on the fly, and I think we look to some of these organizations who have done a great job doing that. We've seen Detroit do that. Cole Young, I love the lefty bat, only 21 years old, but I think it's going to be, it's going to be those ups and downs, but he's got to develop quickly now that he's at the big league level. Defensively, hold down second base. If he's asked to move around a little bit, he's got to be able to do that. The same thing goes for Williamson. Some of these guys, and even Julio, who's still 24 years old, there's got to be an expectation of, hey, we're not just trying to develop, we're trying to win. So those guys have to understand the sense of urgency there as well. But also there's going to be bumps and bruises. You can't just get down. As a former player, I know how tough it is as a rookie, as a young player, to almost beat yourself up, but you can't afford yourself that time because you're going to be in the race.
Every single time we talk about, hey, here's who you got to look out for in the division, for the last many, many years, it's always been Houston, and that's fair because they've won it all the time, and it drives me crazy. But what do you think's in their secret sauce? How do they keep doing this? I don't want to say that typical, how do they keep getting away with this? But when you look at Houston, and when you have looked at the Astros over the last many years, what have they done that other teams haven't?
Yeah, one of the things that they do that I constantly look at is, how teams play other teams that are over 500. They beat the good teams, and they do it by a consistency with their approach at the plate. And I think that's one thing we've seen a little bit better with the Mariners. But if you think about the Astros, it's been dominance up and down the lineup. When you think about Altuve, when you think about Yordan Alvarez, even when Kyle Tucker was there, now he's no longer there. In comes Isaac Paredes, who has the same consistency. Same thing going for Christian Walker. It's almost a dominance in what they do at the plate. And then you pair that along with some really good starting pitching and one of the best closers in baseball, that's going to keep you consistent. And in comparison, I look at Seattle, who is a good team, talented roster, but they haven't been able to beat the teams that are over 500. They've got to beat the good teams, 14-20 against teams over 500. If you consider yourself a playoff team, you have to beat those types of teams.
You said you would consider going after an arm at the trade deadline. So you feel comfortable with the bats that they have so far over here. Now, I look at guys like maybe a Solano or just a role player who you feel like you need to step up for this to happen. Is that a name that you look at when you say, all right, you go for an arm at the trade deadline? Because I believe in maybe one of these bats who aren't really performing consistently. What bat would you point to?
Oh, man. I mean, from a trade standpoint, like trading one of the bats?
What bat that's not performing at a high level right now on this roster do you feel like can help these guys get a push towards the playoffs and you can focus on an arm instead of a bat at the trade deadline?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's got to be multiple. I mean, Randy Arozarena, we've seen him, whether it be in Tampa or even stretches with the Mariners, there's MVP caliber in there. We've seen him in high moments. He's got to be really the impact type of player. Same thing goes for Julio. JP has been much better this year as opposed to last year. But, I mean, all of these guys, it doesn't just point to one guy. That's the thing is, when we think about one specific player, the Mariners at this point don't have that. They don't have that one guy that's just going to carry them all throughout the course of the season. We've seen it from Julio Rodriguez, but can we count on that consistently as of the past 2 years? No, it has to be multiple guys right now that find themselves in a better position from an offensive standpoint to produce. And we've seen Cal Raleigh be an MVP candidate up until this point, but he can't do everything. So it's got to be multiple guys in this lineup.
2025 College World Series opens tomorrow with 4 games. Who do you got? What teams do you like in this one?
Oh, the College World Series. So I was at UCLA covering UCLA's regional a couple weeks ago, and I mean this team, they may not have the starting pitching, but when you can go and almost piece things together and bring guys out of the bullpen throwing 96, 97, and they can go 3 innings each. There's something to that a little bit, and they have a dominant offense. I would keep my eye out for UCLA. That's not getting a whole lot of love. They have one of the best players in the nation, and Rob Chalowski playing shortstop. He would go top 5 if he was a junior this year, but he's a sophomore. Might be 1-1 next year. Keep your eye out for UCLA.
All right, and so you guys know UCLA playing Saturday, taking on Murray State at 2 p.m. Keep your eyes on that one. All right, he is Xavier Scruggs. I wish we had a more fun team to talk about, but there's a lot left to play, and it was good to talk about the deadline, and obviously always fun to talk about the World Series happening this weekend. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
No, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Pacers have taken a 2-1 series lead over OKC in the finals after their 116-107 win. What's the real headline?
The Thunder might find out that it really does hurt to have something taken from you.
You know what they have to do? Play Imagine Dragons in the locker room.
No, that's not getting anyone going. That's not,
Lightning and the thunder.
That's not getting anyone going.
Is. Man, I bet you there's somebody right now driving their car.
And they're just like, yes.
In their head, like, yes.
The dragon.
This is what it is, man. The Pacers, they are a complete team. I think both teams are complete, right? And this is what I love about this matchup is because, yes, you have SGA, who's the superstar of this series, but other than that, you just got a bunch of solid basketball players. You got 20 from Chet, you got 26 from Williams, but you got 22 from Halliburton. You have 27 from Benedict. It's just, these are names that people really don't know because of their location, and I think that is what makes this series even that much better. Initially, I wasn't overwhelmed by this. I go, okay, see, and again, the Pacers, man, what kind of series this is going to be? But it's a great one. And you hit me with a stat earlier today doing show prep that blew my mind.
Tyrese
Halliburton has not been to the free throw line at all this series. So you need to do a bit more flopping like SGA does because that young man gets to the free throw line.
From ESPN, teams that win Game 3 of a 1-1 NBA Finals have gone on to win 80% of the time. And the Pacers, with this win, now have, I think, 5 wins after a loss. They've not dropped back-to-back games since March 8th and 10th. Game 4 in Indianapolis tomorrow night. You guys both went into this series saying, God, I hate to say it, but it does feel like the Thunder are favored for a reason. Have either of you changed your minds?
No, I think if they lose this one, yeah, of course, right? This next one. But no, I think OKC's going to still win.
I don't think Indiana is scared of anybody right now. I think they're playing.
Are you taking the Thunder, though, still as like from a basketball mind?
I think Indiana is going to win this series.
You have changed.
I think they're playing really inspired right now.
Switched on them. Flip mode.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
That, and I just can't fathom watching OKC win. Go Pacers, go, as I say. Vroom, vroom, baby.
Yeah.
Headline number 2, the Mariners have an off day today before opening a series against the Guardians tomorrow. What's the real headline?
Well, this offense has been off for a while.
They've been on vacation, it feels like. They have been on the tough part, man. They've been hitting the ball hard. It's just the wrist is all jacked up, and they're hitting it 2 players at times. Julio's playing some decent ball. Cal's playing decent ball. JP is just, you got to put it all together. Haven't been able to do it. And the pitching has suffered a bit too, man. When you see Wu, who's been the most consistent out of everybody this year, blow up in the 6th, things just aren't right. So, yes, offense has been away, and the arms have been up and down.
Dan Wilson, seeing what you are, says they've been hitting the ball, just haven't gotten the results.
There have been some situations where we've hit the ball hard as well. Again, not getting the result that we wanted, but a good process and just not being able to get them in. It's been, I think, a stretch where it seems like, baseball has kind of bitten us a little bit, and we just haven't been able to get those situations and take advantage of them, whereas we were able to do that earlier in the year. But, it's that's what makes this game so great in a lot of ways, is that, we can bounce back from it. We will. And again, it's just going to take some flushing this down and coming back on Friday ready to go.
Dan, you're right. Sometimes the ups and downs of baseball is what can make it really great. You appreciate those wins. You appreciate a team that pulls itself out of a hole. But the Mariners need to start doing that. I know that it's not July. I know that there's a lot of baseball left to be played. But Houston has passed you. Houston is improving. Houston is getting healthier. You don't once again, just like last year, want to watch an opportunity to take the division pass you by. It doesn't matter if it's June.
Yeah, there are ups and downs when it comes to baseball. They're on a down right now.
Real down.
6 of the last 20, they have won.
Down
That's
bad.
not very good. But listen, there are some things you can point to that makes you believe that they can turn some things around. So we're hoping that happens. But when you are tied with the Angels, for third in the division at this point,
You just never want to be.
you never want to be associated with them. You don't want to be birds of a feather flock together with the Angels. You want to do some other stuff. And then listener pointed out that good teams don't go through the struggles that the Mariners are in right now. And I went and looked up top 4 or 5 teams in the game, and they don't have these. But here's the reality of it. As bad as it looks, you're still in it. You're 4 games behind the Astros. They've been inconsistent. Let's see if you can switch some things up.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the 2025 U.S. Open teeing off today from Oakmont. Leaderboard, if I can bring it up here. J.J. Spahn, our guy, still in the lead at -4. Of course, you got Thriston Lawrence from South Africa at -3.
Of course.
Sung Jae Im, -3. Siwoo Kim. Brooks Koepka, that's a name I recognize. He's -2. What's the real headline?
We'll miss you, Bump. We'll miss you.
It's hard to do this show as I watch Koepka tee off. And his apex is 131 feet. He just missed the green. He's in the bunker now. I'm distracted. It's a major. I love majors. I love golf in general. But this should be fun. There's going to be some high scores today. The highest one is Justin Hicks at +14. I think he's an amateur. He's not an amateur, actually. Matt Volt is an amateur. He's at +12. If the high score is +14, which is an 84, which is what I try to shoot every time I go out there and play, I might finish this round at like 110, 115. The rough is just thick out there. It almost seems unfair. I've never seen so many golfers stand over their ball and kind of shake their head as I'm watching a player do that right now. It's hard out there, but hardest game in the world.
What if you could play one major?
Play one major?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Masters all day.
Yeah.
Masters.
I was trying to see if there was like a sneaky answer of everyone says the Masters, but it's the Masters, huh?
Because you know where the Masters is going to be every single year.
Yeah.
U.S. Open changes. The British switches up sometime as well. PGA does the Masters. The granddaddy. You got to go play that.
Truly the granddaddy of them all. Hype Train coming up at 12:45. Cliff Avril's joining us at 1. Going to talk about some really cool stuff in the community that he's doing, and also, of course, the Seattle Seahawks, whose identity this year is probably going to have to be their defense. Cliff was part of a pretty good one. He's going to tell us some of the ingredients that make up a top defense. Again, that's coming up at 1. We've got the Farm Report with Rainiers broadcaster Rylee Pay. Pretty important name with Tacoma right now, Logan Gilbert. We're going to ask Rylee about his most recent rehab start. Maybe how soon we could see him back up here with Seattle. So again, that's coming up at 1:30. Coming your way next, taking a look around the NFL. Bad news for the Bengals.
Blue 88 on Brock and Salk.
What have you been hearing about this new Seahawks offense, Brock?
Just the entire group, Salk. They're fit. And this isn't just the eyeball test. And this isn't just, I'm in the best shape of my life, right? They wear the catapult systems. They spend all the money and all the resources. And they know. And this team has been is diligent in their work over the last 3 months as any team here that they can remember.
Every day at 7:45, answering 3 football questions as only Brock Heward can.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD from Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Dr. Wagner is hosting a free stem cell webinar to explain stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
And which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join him for the free stem cell webinar and learn all about this amazing procedure.
Join Dr. Wagner for his free stem cell webinar Wednesday, June 18th. Register now at drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Calling all contractors and equipment operators. The James G. Murphy Auction Company rolls out this month one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the block, find an incredible collection of heavy equipment, contractors' equipment, and vehicles, like a 2004 John Deere 400C rock truck, a 2010 John Deere 450D LC excavator, a 2001 John Deere 650H LT dozer, and a 2014 Kenworth T800. In contractors' equipment, we have attachments, live edge and dimensional lumber, contractor tools, even a wheel wash system, and much more up for bid. Whether you're building roads, moving earth, or running a construction outfit, we got what you need. Bidding is underway now and closes at 10 a.m. June 19th. Preview all items June 17th and 18th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures and details of all items, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Bengals have a problem, and that's leading off NFL headlines, so let's head to Cincinnati. First round pick Shamar Stewart, edge rusher for the Bengals, has left mandatory minicamp. You're not supposed to do that. He's in a contract dispute with the team. Per ESPN, the primary disagreement centers on the interpretation of language in the contract that could affect guaranteed money. I don't know what the sentence is or the series of sentences, but it has something to do with guaranteed money. Head coach Zach Taylor today said he's had private conversations with Stewart and that the rookie's attended meetings and been positive. But earlier this week, Stewart told reporters this.
Like some people say, we all agree trade will be right? But technically he's still 1% wrong for being under contract. So in my case, I'm 100% right. So it should be a no-brainer. And in Trey's case, I think it should be a no-brainer too. I mean, he led 17.5 sacks for 2 years back-to-back. If I was the GM or I was the owner, I'd take all my money. But I guess they don't operate like that.
Now, that's a little bold for a rookie, but maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I'm just surprised to hear an unsigned rookie, a first-round pick, mind you, but an unsigned rookie kind of take a shot at ownership, and Zach Taylor didn't seem to love it.
From what I understand, the language has to do with off-field stuff. Well, if he does X, Y, and Z off the field, then he doesn't get guaranteed money. So if that is accurate, which I think that's what I read, this seems kind of silly. Just don't do anything off the field that's going to get you in trouble. So would this be
like, maybe like, oh, you can't be in like pickup basketball games, like that kind of thing?
It was more like suspensions for performance-enhancing drugs or...
Well, then don't do that.
Something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 80% sure. So if that's the deal, then it's silly. And two, yeah, you haven't played one down in the NFL.
Right.
Not one. And I get he might come out and be one of the best players we've seen in a long time, but the fact is, Trey can hold out and should hold out because he's proven in this league. You haven't proven anything. And it's just the way he's talking, too. You would think he's an 8-year vet.
Yeah.
The way that he's talking, man, he just showed up. So that one's weird just because you haven't done anything in this league yet.
I know, and maybe it's unfair of us to think that, but you have to be honest about how you're feeling, right? And the automatic reaction we have is, man, rookies kind of... Now, get your money, like negotiate your deal. You have your agent advocating for you. It's not weird, and nor do I raise my eyebrow when a rookie takes a little longer to sign that first deal. A rookie talking like that about ownership, about a veteran player, maybe he's 1% in the wrong. I don't know, man. I'd stay right in your lane. And if you don't feel comfortable signing that contract, then don't sign it yet. But I'd just kind of, if were it me, I would, I don't know that I'd be talking about another player at all.
I let my agent do all the talking, honestly. I wouldn't say much.
Free agent cornerback Shaquille Griffin is visiting the Raiders today. He met with the Seahawks earlier this offseason. Bump, this continues an interesting kind of back and forth between both the Raiders and Seahawks. Geno Smith obviously being the primary connection via trade, and then both teams signed their punters to new extensions.
Now, Shaquille was here, a couple weeks ago, and I hope that went well because you feel like, at least I do feel like you need a veteran DB over here. But this is what Pete does, man. If he likes you, he is loyal to you. He's going to give you opportunities. We saw that when he was here. Brought over several USC players from back in the day. So this isn't unexpected. But if you do not win the Shaquille Griffin sweepstakes, maybe you don't want it. But if you are in it and you want it, then what are you going to do? I'm good with Josh Jobe. I think he can play some good ball, but I also would love a veteran over there to help him out.
In 4-down territory, you mentioned that the Rams dodged a bullet. Getting back to that story here, Sean McVay on Good Morning Football shared that the Rams would have had interest in Aaron Rodgers if they hadn't re-signed Matthew Stafford.
Our first priority, which was...
Can I just say, I love Sean McVay, but he's always yelling.
Consistently communicated was...
And I'm a loud talker.
Let's work something out with Matthew, and we were very fortunate that it worked out that way. If that wasn't able to occur, then that was definitely conversations and a possibility for us. I have a ton of respect for the body of work, and I've gotten to know Aaron and really enjoy the conversations and just the approach, the way that he thinks about the game and in life. And so that was a possibility, but our first priority was always to be able to get Matthew back.
Yeah, it really is like looking in a mirror. Me and my sister went to a Subway once, and I was ordering, and she was like, "Why are you yelling?" But Sean and I are loud speakers, and he very loudly made it clear, yeah, we were interested in Aaron.
Yeah, I think in the Mariners situation, when you have the talent and the infrastructure that you have over there, you don't just want to give the keys to anybody. And anybody meaning someone who isn't experienced or isn't proven in this league. You can understand why they want to take a look at Aaron Rodgers because of his resume. I think it wouldn't have been a good fit. I think that he's right where he needs to be with the leadership over there with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think McVay isn't a good leader. I just think that the dynamics will be off just a little bit. So they did dodge a bullet. We'll talk about it again at 1:15. But, yeah, you're supposed to kick the tires on Aaron Rodgers if you were the Rams in that position.
All right. Like Bump said, Rams dodged a bullet. Aaron ends up going to the Steelers. Finally, actually, with Pittsburgh, DK Metcalf was asked what it's like catching passes from Aaron now that he's there.
I mean, I like the way he views the game, from a receiver standpoint, but also from a quarterback standpoint. I think I can gain a lot of knowledge just from being around him because he's seen a lot of football. So just trying to soak up as much information in the ball as I can.
What are your expectations for DK? Because, I mean, it was a slightly different conversation with Pickens there and no quarterback. Now there's no Pickens and a quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You got Robert Woods who can help you out over there. He'll stretch the field a bit. Calvin Austin is another receiver who's had some good years. He's at least 3 or 4 years in the league. DK's the true number one all by himself, and I think that's a responsibility that he wants. You do have Jaylen Warren running the football. Caleb Johnson as well, who will back him up. Rookie out of Iowa, I believe. Listen, it's set up for DK to have a decent season. I think he can still go for 1,000 yards, but I feel like there's going to be some frustrating times over there, and we'll get to see how Aaron handles that type of receiver because he's never dealt with that type of receiver. All of the other receivers just kiss the ring and bow down and move on. I don't think DK is that kind of guy.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, the NFL has finally outlawed the style of helmet he's been wearing since his rookie season back in 2005.
I can't stand the helmet. I've worn a Schutt for 20 years, and somehow it finally didn't pass the safety standards.
Last year, he wore the Schutt Air XP Pro Q11 LTD, obviously. Joe Flacco, Thomas Morstead, and Nick Folk are the only ones allowed to continue using the now banned model. It's part of the 2024 Helmet Lab testing performance results from the NFLPA and NFL, blah, blah, blah. What my real question, Bump, is how much does that actually matter? Because the helmet's the only thing players are allowed, and cleats, the only thing players are allowed to, choose, right? Patrick Mahomes wears a different helmet than Aaron Rodgers. It just has to pass the safety standard. Were you ever that particular? Does it make that much of a difference?
Yeah, because for some people, the shape of your head fits better in different type of helmets. I think either way, he's gonna look goofy. I think his old helmet looked goofy. This new helmet looks goofy. You just go bald. Don't worry about all that stuff. Your helmet choices are goofy overall, so it's all good.
You know what's wild is Patrick Mahomes uses the Visus one, which are in one of the higher rated helmets, and that's the one that, remember, his helmet broke in a game. Was this last year? Cracked in a game and a piece of it was missing.
Chipped away.
I'm not saying it's not safe, but it's weirdly one of the safer helmets.
It it took that impact, and didn't get to his cranium. It softened the blow for him. So yeah, helmets are, but I know why professionals are particular about their helmets, man. It's a look, it's a feel, it's weight, it's style. I understand it. I understand why he wouldn't want to wear this new helmet.
All right, 2 more stories here. We are going to head to see Davante Adams in Rams camp. I keep forgetting he's with the Rams. No, I don't. Roger's old buddy, Davante Adams, is in Rams camp, unfortunately, for Seattle. He spoke about the adjustments he's having to make in this new system. Cut 25.
It took a little bit more time for me to get integrated into, the Jets team than it was, getting here. And I knew a lot more of the guys on the team even. So it kind of just depends. And a lot of that probably had to do with me going halfway through the season. Wasn't where this time where we have as much time together, to kind of be away from ball as well. But, yeah, it's always going to be different. But I feel like this is what I needed just based off the vibe and the aura of the building. And everybody's in a good mood. It's not like a dark cloud over the building, and I've experienced that quite a bit over the last few years. So it's a glaring difference when you come into a building like this.
What kind of glaring difference? What does a glaring difference mean when you're an older veteran receiver who's already been in 3 different offenses?
It means that
Like what things might...
language is different. Route concepts are different. Philosophy is different. You might be a run first, pass first. Progressions might be a bit different. Yeah, it's just football talk. End of the day, it is football, but people have a different way of going about it. So main thing is language and maybe introducing some new concepts.
Is it now or never for Christian McCaffrey? We'll get back to that coming up at 1:15 with 4 Down Territory. Cliff Avril joining us at 1. Before then, heading to the station for Hype Train coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
Chance to catch up with Bryce Miller. Appreciated your candor. You were coming out going, man, I haven't felt good. I don't feel good. Was it starting to become a mental thing where you're trying to compensate?
It's a tough game. It's a tough league, whenever you feel good. And you're not always going to feel 100% throughout a season, but it was just, I think I had 8 starts, and all 8, there wasn't a single start where I felt 90%.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Yeah, I have a ton of really memorable customers. One of my favorite customers I've ever had, he came in and had a really bad experience with several different dealerships. He just lost his husband. His husband left him with a truck, and he was like, I don't need a truck. Like, this is so impractical for me. And it was a really emotional decision for him because it was one of the last things that he had, obviously husbands. We were like, it's no problem. Like, we're going to help you. And we did the process the same way that we always do the process. And we helped him trade in his truck for a beautiful new Rogue. And that was really cool. And he bought his second car from us. And I'm sure when he needs a third car, he'll come back and buy his third car from Nissan too. Afterwards, to thank us, he sent us this beautiful basket of like candies and fruits and stuff.
Making a great day for the people around you is making a great day for yourself. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
June is Men's Health Month, and we want to place a special emphasis on prostate cancer awareness and treatment. It's important for men to communicate about issues relating to their health, especially family health history. Prostate cancer has been in the news, and right now I'm joined by Dr. Landis from the Swedish Cancer Institute. Dr. Landis, how common is prostate cancer?
Prostate cancer is very common. About 1 in 8 men will develop prostate cancer here in the U.S. That ends up being about 300,000 cases per year.
How can men test for prostate cancer?
Well, first thing, patients should ask to have PSA screening from their primary care doc. Anyone 50 or over, and if you have a family history starting at 45 is pretty typical.
If diagnosed, why should patients seek out Swedish CyberKnife for treatment?
What we hear from patients all the time is that treatment really was amazing. They didn't have to take time off of work. The side effects are really minimal, and there was minimal interruption in their lives.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Do you know a woman that gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Shannon Dreyer here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help in finding her. Nominations for the 4th Annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at woiseattle.org.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
If you've ever wondered if there's something after death, Tyler Henry proves the answer is yes. Be part of his live audience readings and his jaw-dropping ability to connect with the departed at Muckleshoot Event Center, Thursday, July 10th and Friday, July 11th at 8 p.m. Experience this evening of hope and healing, bringing peace and closure to loved ones. Tyler Henry proves our loved ones never leave us. Get tickets at muckleshootcasino.com.
Muckleshoot. This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, coming up at 1, Cliff Avril joining us to talk about a pickleball tournament and also, obviously, the Seahawks defense. Right now, though, let's head to the station for Hype Train.
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
Have you played pickleball?
Never, and I never will.
Yeah, you will.
Well, I would for charity.
There you go.
No, because here's the thing. Isn't pickleball basically tennis?
Yeah.
I've never.
It's tennis/ping pong.
I've never been good at tennis. Ever.
But pickleball is good for people like that because tennis, it's hard to control the ball in tennis.
Yeah.
It's a little easier than pickleball.
I'll say it before Cliff gets here. Don't tell Cliff I said this. No one listening, tell Cliff. Sometimes people who play pickleball make it like their personality.
Now, who on earth are you talking about?
Michael Lefko. But also, pickleball people, they're early risers,
Listen,
you know what I mean?
We need to leave him alone. That's 2 days now.
Okay, fine.
We've gone after Lefko.
No, we have to go. Listen.
You gotta leave him alone.
We need to leave Lefko alone. Lefko's our friend.
Yeah.
We're not being friends.
Who likes pickleball?
That's what I'm just saying.
It's pickleball that's the enemy here.
The Mariners,
Lefko.
our first Hype Train. The Mariners will acquire a bat.
They better. Don't listen to the expert Rowland-Smith, okay? Who says they need an arm. But I understand why Ryan would say that too. But also, I believe in the arms that are here. I think they're going to get healthy. Logan's going to come back. Kirby's going to keep doing his thing. Woo's going to bounce back. Castillo's going to be the rock. I just think that they are good. What I know isn't good are the guys standing in the batter's box, at least most of them. So you got to go get yourself a bat. So that's exactly what they're going to do. Give me a ticket. I'm boarding that thing.
Said that's how it's gonna be.
How it's gonna be.
The Mariners will acquire a bat. Bump boarding. Curtis, are you?
I hope so.
There's a long
really
pause,
hope
a pregnant
so.
pause, if you will.
I don't see it, especially with the returns of Rylee and Robles. I don't think so. I think those are going to be the names that we're told are the trade deadline editions. I think
right?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to say.
I think so.
Dang it. Why'd you get me angry?
Stop. No, it's
That's
happening.
what they're going to say. Actually, if you look at it, we actually
Hey,
did acquire.
Rayleigh's starting a rehab assignment tonight.
no.
That's like a we have Taco Bell at home
Yeah.
kind of moment.
Oh, that's what they're going to say.
You know what? I'm boarding this train, Matt, please.
Dang, Curtis.
I'm boarding this train. Curtis, I think you might be right. However, I'll lean in to what Jim Bowden said for The Athletic, which is he's hearing the Mariners are looking for an impact bat and may have some money to spend to take
You know
on
what
that
you are
salary.
right now, Curtis? You're like my kids. Dream killers, okay? You have kids kill all your dreams. Whatever you thought you wanted to do,
No.
done.
It's true.
Next up. Logan Gilbert just made another rehab start. Looking pretty good by the sounds of it. He will return this homestand.
Yeah, we need him desperate. Just throw with your left hand, dog. Whatever you got to do. Like, we need you out there in a big way, man. Yeah, he's coming back. I need it. We need it.
Throw with your left hand. Logan Gilbert will return this homestand. Bump says either right or left. You got to find a way back. Curtis, are you boarding?
Yeah, we're boarding this train. It'll be against the Red Sox.
So second.
Probably
series.
Monday because there's a TBD spot in the Mariners rotation. So that could be a very likely landing spot for him. So, yeah, I think Logan Gilbert's back on a Major League Hill in just the next few days.
We are going all aboard that one. All aboard. I'm boarding as well. Yeah, it makes sense. And it sounds like that rehab start went well. I don't know all the details about it other than, I don't know. We'll find out more about Rylee.
That's right. Rylee Pay at 1:30.
Yep, joining us a little bit later. Next up. From ESPN, teams that win Game 3 of a 1-1 NBA Finals have gone on to win 80% of the time. Guys, who just won Game 3?
Indiana Pacers.
That's exactly right. Pacers in 6. That's your hype train.
Pacers in 6. I want it to happen. So this is one of those vibes ones I don't think is going to happen, but so I can help control the universe and influence it. I'm going to say yes, Pacers in 6.
Pacers in 6. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
I'm not boarding because it's the Pacers in 5.
I knew
That's
that you'd
right.
do that. I knew you'd do it.
I think they win the series though. Yes. So yeah, I'll board this train just because I want to hear the horn.
We have back-to-back all aboard for this one. Why not? Why not? Though I don't see a gentleman's sweep. There's no way I'm going Pacers in 5. Maybe I'm an idiot. Next up. Earlier in NFL headlines, we went over some sound from Mike Tannenbaum, who thinks that the Steelers will be irrelevant by Thanksgiving.
I think Aaron Rodgers could be irrelevant by Thanksgiving.
Ouch. That's mean. The Steelers will be relevant at Thanksgiving.
This is what's going to happen. The Steelers are going to be slightly relevant.
Okay.
They're going to need some help, but they're not just going to be 2 and whatever, and no one's thinking about them.
All right.
I believe.
Bump is boarding. The Steelers will indeed be relevant by Thanksgiving. Disagreeing with Mike Tannenbaum here. Bump is aboard. Curtis, are you?
I am not boarding this train. I think Aaron Rodgers is cooked. I don't think the Steelers.
Agreeing with another Michael.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Tannenbaum. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be relevant this year. I think this might be the year that Mike Tomlin's winning season streak goes kaput. Like adding Aaron Rodgers at this point in his NFL career, you're not going anywhere. This is all bad.
I'm with Bump on this one. I have a lot of faith in Tomlin, and I have faith in that defense, even though they'll probably have a little bit of regression this year. And I think, unfortunately, which goes against my bet, that Aaron Rodgers right now is a better quarterback, maybe, than Russell Wilson right now. So technically he upgraded a quarterback, not by a wide margin. Did you downgrade at defense? That's going to be the question. And I just have a hard time seeing the Steelers as being completely out of it in November. Last but not least, Cooper Kupp talking about Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he kind of has a childish taste, like palate. We went out to dinner and he's talking. I mean, I don't know. I don't trust him yet with the food recommendations and things like that. He said he wanted to go to dinner. I was like, perfect. what sounds good. And I mean, it just the recommendations, kind of the way it came off was like he wanted to go get some, fries and chicken strips.
Chicken strips and fries are a childish dish.
Like I said before, get off of chicken strips head, all right? Chicken strips and fries are perfectly normal for adults. Now, if we're talking chicken nuggets, still rock with them. You eat whatever you want to eat, all right? Now, it depends on where we're going.
What
if we're
about
at a nice
shaped
restaurant,
nuggets? We're going to
shaped
keep
nuggets.
Dino nuggets.
Dino
you
nuggets,
cannot, as
they're
an adult.
bomb.
Those are
no,
childish.
No, those
They're
are
bomb.
childish.
I wouldn't buy them for myself.
Exactly.
I'd buy them for my kids.
Exactly.
And I'd snatch some.
Yeah.
But I'm not single man going to the store and saying, oh, let me get these dinos. No.
Yeah.
So, no, chicken strips, man, you eat chicken strips. Just, if you're at a nice restaurant, don't order them.
Why?
Because there's so many other things.
Mm-hmm.
So many other things.
So many things that an adult would order?
Yeah, because maybe there's a little bit of shame in ordering chicken strips at a nice restaurant.
Sometimes you go to places that have chicken strips.
When
and
are
have
chicken
steaks.
strips on the adults menu versus the kids menu?
I mean,
if there's a steak on the menu that costs $75, chicken strips are not in play.
But why?
Because you're at a send.
He doesn't want to admit it.
Chicken strips
He
and
will not
fries
admit it.
are a childish dish. Curtis, Bob is refusing to board.
Oh, we're boarding this train, but I'm not hating on it.
No,
It's just,
I'll eat them right now.
It is a childish
won't,
dish,
but,
yes.
Yeah. I think it's yes, I'm boarding as well.
What about tater tots?
Also a childish, yes.
You
It's
guys never
okay to
had
admit.
a gourmet burger with some tots on the side?
Tots are great.
Tots
They're
are
just great kids' food, yeah.
They're low rent French fries. They're French fries for the streets.
For the streets.
Taco
And I won't
Time's
be
tots
having
are
any of
great.
them.
Those are
Taco Time got some fire, seasoned perfectly.
2025 MLB All-Star Ballot is open, and Cal, Julio, and JP and the crew need your help to secure a spot at this year's Midsummer Classic in Atlanta. You can vote up to 5 times per day, every day through June 26 at MLB.com/vote. Cliff Avril joining us next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
In Cal, you're seeing a superstar start to develop. He's starting to get that national recognition. It's always been, when you talk about the Mariners, you'd sort of talk about the rotation as a whole. Sure. Talking about an individual, it's been Julio. And it feels like Cal is starting to move into that spot. Now, here's the thing. Neither, by baseball standards, are being paid as a superstar.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here from my friends at PCF Group, or People Come First Construction Group, and that's exactly what they did when we made the call a couple years ago. We wanted to redo our outdoor space, wanted to add a deck, an outdoor living, a television, and a kitchen. And PCF Group, wow, they more than delivered. And if you're interested in building a stunning outdoor area like we did, I cannot recommend them enough. Reach out before the good weather arrives, and their schedule, well, it's going to fill up. So whether you're looking for a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you covered. Design now and pay later. In fact, get 12 months, no interest and no payments, and up to $6,000 off and a $1,000 Amazon gift card. Request a complimentary design and estimate consultation at 425-629-8476 or project ideas. Explore photos at pcfgroup.com. That's 425-629-8476.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event. Powered by WFC, Saturday night, June 14th. A night of professional boxing where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, June 14th at Emerald Queen Casino, the boxing capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
We at 3 Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Ooh, ma.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT. Because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Pacers have taken a 2-1 series lead in the NBA Finals after beating the Oklahoma City Thunder 116-107 last night. Game 4 tomorrow in Indy. The Mariners have an off day today before opening a series against the Guardians tomorrow. Extra Innings gets you ready with a preview for this weekend's games coming up at 7 p.m.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Recently voted as a member of the Seahawks top 50 player list, obviously. It's Cliff Avril on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Cliff, how's it going?
I'm well. How you guys doing?
Good. We want to get to the charity. We want to get to obviously talking about the Seahawks defense. But how did you find out you were going to be on the top 50 player list?
It's funny. So Mario Bailey, who is the head of, I want to say community and legends, which they call all retired players. So he reached out to me and was just like, hey, we want, I got this thing for you that we want you to shoot for the Seahawks, and I'm like, okay, some promotional stuff. All right, cool, whatever. So he's like, hey, but I need you here at a certain time and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I get there and kind of walk into the studio, and I'm feeling like something is a little off because I'm like, why are there so many people walking with us to the studio to shoot this? And, I'm asking questions, but they're like, yeah, no, it shouldn't take long or whatever. And I walk in, and there's more cameras than just, one or two. Again, I've done a few of these for them. And I'm like, why are there so many cameras? I kept asking them, like, why are there so many cameras? Y'all making me nervous.
You're like, who's here?
Yeah, like, what is going on? So they're like, hey, read the script, And I'm like, can somebody give me the script beforehand? Like, I hate just improv, but, whatever. So I'm reading the script, and then it gets to the point where it's like, hey, we're celebrating the 60th or the 50th year of the Seahawks, and we have top 50 players. And this year, in this particular player, we want to talk about him. He has 35 games, and he's like 34 and a half sacks. And when I read that, I was like, oh, wait up, I'm talking about myself right now. So they was like, oh, congratulations, you made the top 50. So it was really cool and unique in how they did it. It was an honor, and this one hit a little bit different from all the other things and awards that I've gotten because, to be top 50 in the NFL on any team is unreal, but to be top 50 for the Seattle Seahawks is pretty unique in itself because, obviously we got to do a lot of great things, but it's an NFL team, and you're one of their top 50 players in the first 50 years. I'm just a kid from Jacksonville, Florida, that got to be top 50 for a team. It's pretty cool and unique, and it was exciting.
Yeah, that's dope, Cliff. I remember I saw the video of you doing it, and you can tell when it hits you, like, hold up. That sounds too familiar.
It's like when you show up to your surprise party and it's just clicking in your brain. Why are my friends here?
Yeah, exactly. Well, again, congratulations, man. But let's talk about what you got going on, man. You do a charity event with Doug and with Mike B, and you guys are switching. You're going from one court to the other court. Tell me about it.
Yes, so the last 3 years, we it's Champions of Change, Doug Baldwin, myself, and Michael Bennett. The last 3 years, we've hosted a celebrity basketball game at Climate Pledge Arena. And I'm 3-0, by the way. I've been beating up on Doug the entire time. So, but to be honest with you, man, we're getting older. And running up and down that NBA court, getting a little harder and harder to do. So we wanted to pivot. And now we're doing pickleball, and I'm a big fan of the sport. I've been playing every morning for the last 2.5 years. So we wanted to change it up and go to the pickleball route, and one, give Doug an opportunity to win, but then two, make it more inclusive, right? Basketball is fun. It's great to bring the community out. But you're sitting, you're watching and sitting. We feel like pickleball, you can bring a lot more folks out. You can get out there with some 60-year-olds that'll wear your behind out, but you can also play with some 20-year-olds as well. So just making it more inclusive, more engaging for people to be a part of it. And we're excited about it, man. We're excited about this event on June 28th. It's going to be in Redmond at the Gorn in Redmond. We're excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time, and we want to scale this thing out and make it hopefully one of the bigger pickleball tournaments in the state of Washington.
It's championsofchangefoundation.org. Again, like Cliff said, June 28th is the pickleball tournament. There's also a gala on June 27th, the night before. If you don't go too crazy, you can get up early for that pickleball tournament, as you should. Now, I'm guessing, Cliff, that if I were to ask, hey, you guys used to do basketball, now you're doing pickleball, who's better at both? I'm guessing your answer would be you. And you'd say, obviously, I am the best shooter and the best pickleball player. If you had to choose something that Mike B and Doug do better than you have to choose something. What is it?
They talk more than me. That's about it.
No.
They talk a little bit more than me.
I don't even know that I believe that.
Right? Exactly. But no, we're all competitive, of course, and I wouldn't even say that I'm a much better basketball player than Doug, although I probably am. But pickleball for sure, I got it on lock. But talking, they both got me beat in that for sure.
Who's got on golf?
Golf, I don't think any of us are good at golf. So I got a chance. I got a chance at that one.
Hey, what was your introduction to pickleball? Me, it was our coworker here, Mike Lefko, is a pickleball fanatic. So he got me interested. I played a few times with my kids, but how did you get into it?
So a couple of years ago, I'm on spring break with my boys, and there's quite a few other families from my boys' school that was there as well. And, I'm just sitting around like, hey, I don't really like sitting at this pool all day. And some of the dads were like, hey, you got to come play this pickleball, play some pickleball. We're about to go play pickleball. I'm like, what the heck is pickleball, first off? And I ain't playing no pickleball. I'm a football player. I'm a basketball player. Like, what are you talking about, And we get out there, and they kind of teaching me the rules and all that stuff. And then next thing I know, I've got a good sweat going. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I just know not to stay out the kitchen. And as I got going, I'm like, okay, this is fun, because my biggest thing was, and what I got from it was, I get all the basketball movements, because I'm a big basketball guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I get all the basketball movements without all the jumping up and down. So my back doesn't hurt when I leave. My knees aren't aching when I leave. So I started playing, and then next thing I know, they put me on this group chat with like 40 people. It's like, hey, we're playing at 5:30 in the morning tomorrow. I'm like, all right, well, shoot, let's do it. So for about a year and a half straight, at least 4 times a week, I'm up at 5:30, getting some pickleball in for an hour and a half, getting a good sweat in, and then I go lift. So I got introduced on spring break about 2.5 years ago, and I've been on it ever since.
I am by no means surprised that you, Doug, and Mike B remain so involved, whether it's with Champions of Change or just other events throughout the community. I do, though, Cliff, remain impressed. Two different things. And part of that is because, look, you guys are, I don't know where Mike B's from. I know you and Doug are from Florida, but you guys, you're not local. Obviously, you came up through your 20s here in Seattle and saw part of, the best Seahawks team, that we've seen, best modern defense the NFL has seen, except for Doug, poor Doug, but not part of the Legion of Boom. But you guys have just remained really involved. What is it? Is it just like it's fun to do it with your friends? Is it something about Washington State? What is it that kind of keeps you getting after it?
Well, there's multiple things. I think one of the things is, we became men here, right? Like I know I got here at 26, 27 years old and retired at 33. So for me, it was just, a maturation thing, right? I had my second baby here, I got married while I was out here. So I think it's a little bit of that, but then also the brotherhood that we built on the football field. So many of us stayed because of that, right? It made the transition from football to becoming, what do we say? I don't want to say a common person, but just transitioning out of football, it made it so much easier because you had your brothers here with you, right? We had a bunch of guys that were kind of going through the same thing. Cam retired the same year as me. Sherm retired a couple years later. Like, all of us kind of started retiring and our careers started ending right around the same time. So we had that thing in common, and we're going through the same thing. So it made it a little bit easier being here. And the last thing, honestly, is the community. The community took us in as one of their own, right? And they made the transition easier for us. The opportunities to be able to grow outside of football was here. We had the community relation to be able to just help us grow. They helped us through the process of transitioning out of football to figure out what the next move was going to be, and it just made it easier and seamless for us. So it just made sense to be here. I love the city. I love Seattle. I love everything about the people here. We're very relatable. I think one of the weirdest things, though, that I get while I'm here is, I'll be at the gym or I'll be, at the mall or something like that, and there's people will come up to us and be like, hey, man, oh, man, we love you so much, man. You made our childhood so amazing. I'm like, your childhood?
What do you mean?
Like, what are you talking about?
They're like, hey, Unc.
Hey, Unc, hey, man, you made our child. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But then I look back at it, I'm like, 10 years ago was the Super Bowl. Okay, if this guy's 25 years old, okay, he's 15 at the time. I'm like, oh, shoot, like, maybe I did make his childhood kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just weird to hear that. But overall, though, man, the community is just amazing. They support us in so many ways. So it only makes sense for us to continue to keep giving back through Champions of Change, through the Cliff Avril Family Foundation, and supporting the community that gave us so much.
I feel you, man. That's what Seattle does to you. I came up here 20 years ago and never left. Came up from school and never left. So I feel you there, man. Just a quick note about, the team this year. I don't know how much you've been following them. I'm sure you were up there for the Legends Day. I think you were up there for the Legends Day the other day. What are your vibes with this defense?
I'm liking where Coach is going. Obviously, well, I don't say obviously, but he's building the defense to be the foundation of the team, right? I actually spoke to the defense and spoke to the D-line and letting them know, like, hey, clearly, Coach is a defensive-minded coach. And as we all know around here, defense wins championships. Just throw that out there. But I like the mindset of what Coach Macdonald's trying to do, right? He's trying to get the defense solid. He's getting the guys up front. He's getting some pass rushers. He's stacking up his defense to be able to allow the offense to kind of figure out what their identity is going to be. A lot of different pieces on the offensive side, and I like what they're doing. I like some of the playmakers that they have, but I think it's going to obviously come through the running game. But in order to have a good running game, your defense has to be on point, and your defense has to be able to stop offenses so you can run the ball and be able to take shots whenever you need be. But I like where they're heading up front. I like what they're doing on the defensive side. I'm looking forward to that staple in the middle in Jarran Reed. I think Jarran Reed is going to be that difference maker as far as for leading these guys. Jarran Reed has been around some of the top playmakers. He was my young guy. He was when we were coming through the ranks. He was a guy that got drafted with me while I was a vet. And to see him becoming the veteran player that he is, understanding what championship ball looks like, understanding what true leadership looks like, I think he's going to implement that and bring the guys along. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys do this year.
If you wanted to feel even older, Cliff, which I'm making you do because I had to sit through this interview and we're the same age, is Mike Morris called Jarran Reed Unc the other day, and I thought, oh God, I turned into dust and just floated away. Okay, last question is one that I asked Bump, and I'm throwing it your way. It's not football at all. Pacers in 6?
Ooh, you know what? I'm rooting for the Pacers, and yes, I think Pacers in 6. And I'm only rooting for them because my wife is from Indy, and obviously Purdue is right up the street from Indianapolis. Yeah. Also, Halliburton, some of those guys, Halliburton's, man, just watching him through the playoffs and how clutch he's been. And, any close game, you get the ball to him, and they got a high possibility to win it. So, yes, I'm going Pacers in 6.
What was that stat, Bump?
Halliburton?
Yeah.
Hasn't shot a free throw yet in the finals.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
He hasn't shot a free throw?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
I know. He is crazy. Cliff Avril, part of the Champions of Change pickleball tournament. Go to championsofchangefoundation.org. You can also go to championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball. Registration is open through June 22nd. The event itself is June 28th, so you don't want to wait. Go ahead and register right now. If you guys have questions, you can send those in on the text line 866-979-3776. He is Cliff Avril. Thanks, Cliff.
Thanks, Cliff.
Thank you, guys. Hey, if y'all guys see me in the streets, y'all call me Top 50 Cliff from now on, all right?
Hey,
absolutely.
Let's go.
I'm joking. I appreciate you guys having me.
Next time I see you, I'm calling that, hey, Top 50 Cliff.
Not Top 50 Cliff.
All right, man.
Bye, Cliff.
Bye.
Top 50 Cliff.
I like that.
No, just call me Top 50
hey,
from now on. That's
top
it.
50.
Top 50.
Top 50. What up?
Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what would be a fair compromise between NFL owners and the NFLPA for an 18-game season?
Yeah, man, these guys, they want to push for 18 games. In the NFLPA, they're saying, all right, if you want 18 games, let's meet somewhere in the middle. You want 18 games, you want more international games. All the NFLPA wants is for grass fields at these stadiums. And I know why owners don't want grass fields, because it's easier to maintain when you have that turf. I understand it. Okay. But listen, you have to not adhere, but just compromise with your players, the guys who are making you millions and millions of dollars. You got the World Cup coming up here pretty soon. You're going to cover every stadium with grass anyway. Players prefer to play on grass. It's not that hard of a ask, if you ask me. I think that's, I don't even know what the numbers are when it comes from being safe and all that good stuff. I just know that the players want that, and you're going to push those bodies even further into the season when it comes to competitive play. Hook them up. Not a big one for me. I just hope they get it done.
Second down. How do you think the Rams dodged a bullet?
They dodged a bullet because,
Neo.
like Neo.
Like Neo.
Because listen, we know that McVay and Matthew Stafford were having talks about what are we doing? Are we staying together? Are we going to separate? Like, what is it? They're in a relationship. And it sounded like at one point they were close to going their separate ways. Mm-hmm. And they were looking at Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be fine with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they will be semi-relevant by Thanksgiving. But I think they dodged a bullet because Matthew Stafford is just a perfect fit. Like, you've been through so much with Matthew Stafford. He knows your offense. He knows expectations. He knows L.A. Like, he doesn't cause any problems off the field when it comes to Matthew Stafford. I think if Aaron Rodgers was there, he would challenge McVay just a little bit. Even though McVay is one of the best coaches in the game, he would challenge him. So I think they dodged a bullet. I think they did the right thing. They figured things out with Matthew Stafford, a guy who is low-key, who just understands what the expectations are.
Third down. Who do you think needs to have a big year, or he may be gone?
This is just the life of the NFL, man. And this is a great player who's done some great things for this organization. But if you look at what Christian McCaffrey has done over the past, his whole career. Start slow, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, hurt for 3 or 4 seasons in a row, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Now he's hurt again. This is a pattern, and he's going to hit 30 this year. It's just the life of a running back. When you touch the ball 300, 400 times a year, you're going to get broken down. And I think that he's at the age now to where as soon as they see some slippage, which they saw last year with injuries, if it continues this year, some other team's going to have to pick up that check. They're paying him $16 million a year. But Christian McCaffrey needs to have a year where he plays at least 14 to 15 games and produces. If not, it's the cycle, the circle of life in the NFL. You know, they use you until they can't anymore, and then they ship you away no matter how great you are. So I hope he has a good year. Hope he has some big games, just not against the Seattle Seahawks.
Fourth down. What group needs to have a jump in production for this defense to shine?
I think everyone would agree that we're not most excited, but we feel like we can count on the box the most with this team.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you got the defensive line, you got Jay Reed coming back, you got Leo in there. That second level, you have Tyrese Knight his second year, you got Ernest. I'm going to bring in the rushers as well. You got Uchenna, Boye Mafe. Like, those are the guys who are going to cause all the havoc. And if they're able to do that, what it's going to do is provide opportunity on the back end. So I'm looking at the secondary. You had 10 interceptions between 4 of you, right? You had Julian with 3, Kobe with 3, Reek with 3, you had Josh Jobe with 1. That production has to go up. And I think it will naturally because of the confusion and chaos that the box is going to create for these quarterbacks. When quarterbacks are pressured, when there's things going on around them, they toss the football up, you take the football out the air. I really think Kobe Bryant, I wouldn't even call it a breakout year. This is going to have like a Pro Bowl type of year, man. He's taken this position. Yeah. He got it off of Jenkins last year when he was banged up. He comes in and never lets it go. He's going to be in a contract year soon. Reek's going to be in a contract year soon. J-Love got his money. But if this secondary, all right, out of those 4, they produce 10, get up to like 14, 15, I think this defense is going to be in good position. And it's going to be an indication that the D-line and the linebackers are getting home. They are getting to that quarterback. They're good against the run, and they're forcing these third and long situations where it's extremely predictable. They're going to throw the football, and those guys take the ball out the air, do what you do.
Kobe Bryant feels like one of those guys where I think you've actually made this point before, and I'm butchering it, but it's like really great football teams have stars, but they also have guys that just make up the foundation.
Yep.
And they're the guys where when the draft pick is made, maybe you don't know the name, you're not as familiar, it's a 4th rounder, but like he ends up outplaying his contract. And it doesn't look like being a first-team All-Pro. It looks like being a regular and consistent contributor. That's Kobe Bryant.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if every team had 10 Kobe Bryants, fantastic. So
if Kobe is the type of guy, he's like the blue-collar guy.
Yeah.
You know, even though people forget, he was a Jim Thorpe Award winner. Like the best corner in college football. Played opposite of Sauce and still got that award. But I think because of his journey, right? Him starting, they tried him at safety, nickel, corner, then he gets banged up, can't get healthy. They bring Spoon in. He kind of gets lost in the mix. So now that he has established himself, he's a day one starter on this defense. I think it does something for your persona, does something for your confidence, knowing that I'm the day one starter. I'm fighting these guys off. So I'm happy for Kobe, man. I think he's going to take a big jump this year.
You know what I appreciated when we had Cliff Avril on and we asked him, Cliff, if you have to choose one area where Doug and Mike B are better than you, that he ultimately did not. Lots of competitor, folks.
Yeah. You got to, always compete.
Yeah.
He was, he brought up by Pete Carroll.
What if you had to choose an area where Matt, Curtis, and me can be better?
Can be better
Because
than me?
if I said pickleball, it would be you.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Pickleball sneaky. Matt might go out there and be a sneaky pickleball player.
That's generous.
Gonna tell you something? I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, you would be writing. You're a good writer.
Thank you.
Curtis, we all know we're going here. Just random knowledge. And
Yeah,
then
you're
with with Matt, it'll be
You can
know
skip me.
just the comics and the nerd stuff. You know?
You're better at nerd stuff.
Got it all covered.
You got it.
Even though I'm more of a nerd than what people think, though.
What are the things
key.
you're nerdiest about?
Like I watch History Channel a lot. I watch,
That's just being
Discovery.
a washed dad.
That's just a dad.
I watch Discovery Channel
No, are you
Again,
watching
still
World
being a
War
dad.
II documentaries?
all day.
Do you put your hands in your belt loops?
Put them in. No, I stand in front of the TV with my hands behind my back.
Do you do that thing that all dads do where you don't sit down on the couch, you just kind of stand in the background?
Yeah,
And your
all the
kids are
time.
like, Dad, you can sit down.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
No,
That's-
I'm standing.
I'm good.
Bump making the realization of just being a genuine. You're just a washed dad. With like, I'm such a nerd. I love lawns. You know what I mean? I love when going to bed at 7.
Hey,
History Channel.
Tell me though, going to
Civil War
sleep at
documentaries.
like 8 o'clock and you get them hours in.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I could do it more.
Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy? Brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
Will Bump stay up for it? It's a Mariners off day, so catch extra innings from 7 p.m. to
Come on,
9.
Bump.
7 p.m. to 9.
Stick with me here.
On Seattle
I'm nodding off.
Sports.
I'm nodding off.
Don't forget. Let's check in on how Logan did in his last rehab start with Farm Report. Rainiers broadcaster Rylee Pay joining us next.
Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
We got a lot of baseball to talk with Jeff Passan today.
This is now 29-game stretch where we're 11-18. Who are these Mariners on June 10th?
They're the team that at the beginning of the season we thought they were going to be and that they can't hit. Like, if Cal Raleigh is not in this lineup right now, I mean, I don't even know. It would look like the Rockies.
Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Tyrese live at Muckleshoot Event Center, Sunday, July 13th, 8 p.m. You've seen him on the screen. You've heard him on the radio. Now see him live for an unforgettable night. Get tickets before they sell out at MuckleshootCasino.com. Tyrese, only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer premium windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and come with clean glass technology. And Leak Armor Installation gives you a lifetime warranty to protect your home. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 62225, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. It's time for the Farm Report with Rainiers broadcaster Rylee Pay. Rylee, how's it going?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good. We're going to start with kind of an obvious place, but we got a lot to ask about some of these minor leaguers. But we're going to start with Logan Gilbert, obviously. What you saw with his most recent rehab start.
Yeah, Gilbert making his third start with us a couple days ago here against Sacramento. And I think everybody was really impressed and just thought immediately afterwards, that's the Gilbert that you've been waiting to see, right? So he looks great again and put together a stretch where he had retired 13 straight. He had 5 scoreless innings to start for us, allowed just to hit, walked 1 and struck out 6, but the lone hit within the early parts of that one, and then the walk didn't come until 2 outs in the later parts of his outing. So it was just really great stuff from him. It was very efficient, 72 pitches, 43 first strikes in that outing. And I think the thing that we noticed, too, is he was using his splitter a lot more this outing than the previous 2. So just good indicators of all the right things. And he really set the tone for us in that game and a really strong start from him.
Hey, Rylee, what's it like for you when you watch Dominic just tear up the diamond in Tacoma, and then he hits a bomb late in the game when he first gets called up? Are you like a proud parent, like watching your kid go out there and just step up to the plate and deliver?
Yeah, I think we're all really excited, especially looking from afar at AAA. You see what they are capable of there, and you see just what they've been putting together. And so when you see them come up in those big moments, it's really exciting to see. But you're also not surprised, because you've seen them do so well in AAA. And so it was one of those moments. I know we were, Andy and I, My broadcast partner at home was super excited for it too. We were talking about it. That's the can zone that we all know. So it was awesome to see and a really exciting day for him a few days ago.
Harry Ford with the Grand Slam, 6 RBIs on Wednesday. We get a lot of questions, Rylee, and you won't be surprised to hear this from people going, when can Harry Ford come up? Because there's a lot of excitement around him. So this is kind of a twofold compliment sandwich type question when it comes to Harry. You get to see him way more than we do and analyze his play. I'd love to hear just where you're especially impressed with his development so far, and where, when you look at him or when you talk to folks and you guys kind of analyze him, you think, oh, I'd love to see him continue to grow here.
I think top to bottom, he has put together a really solid season, especially in the last month alone. When you look at his May numbers, that alone got him co-hitter of the month honors, and he hit .411 in the month of May. So that just speaks for itself, the way that he has just been able to really hit his stride in the last month alone and put together a really strong season. But I think the thing that sticks out is you're seeing both the power and the patience. So the Grand Slam yesterday, he's come up in huge spots for us and continues to do really well with runners in scoring position. The power has been on full display. He's got 7 home runs right now, but he's also extremely patient. He's amongst the minor league lead in walks, especially for catchers, and just what he's been able to do. You haven't noticed any differences when you're kind of looking at the jump to AAA. And I talked to him a few weeks ago, just asking about that, how he's able to maintain his patience at the plate, and he really hasn't let that get to him, and he's just continued that same approach that he has for his entire career. So I think there's so many things about his game that really stick out. You got the speed, the power, and the patience, and so you're seeing it translate in the numbers. He's hitting .310 for us as well right now, and just continues to be very consistent. He reaches base nearly every game, all but 3 so far in the 48 that he's played. So it's just impressive what he's been doing, and he's been doing it very consistently all season.
Everyone is excited about Harry Ford, obviously, but is there a name that maybe isn't as popular as Harry Ford that you feel people should get to know?
There's a couple that have been really putting together. We talked about it, Spencer Packard, a silent but great season. He is just always reaches base. He reaches base over 500 in the last month alone, and another just great quality hitter. We talked to John Russell a couple days ago about him, and he even described it as that you just always know that you're going to get quality at-bats from Spencer Packard, and you're seeing the results translate in the last month. But him, I think Ryland Thomas is another one who has really stuck out. He's been great in the leadoff spot for us, and he rarely, if ever, strikes out, and that's put him atop several leaderboards in that category. He's just very patient, but maintains the same approach, and has been really strong in that regard. Also defensively, he's a ton of fun to watch in right field. He makes a lot of really tough plays look really easy. So those two, I think, stick out. Also, Soren Lau, from a pitching standpoint, in the last really the entire season, though, we've been talking about him. He has just really put together a lot of great numbers, and he's been very consistent. You know that you're going to get something great from him every time that he goes out there. And there was a stretch a couple weeks ago in El Paso where he carried a perfect game throughout his start as well. So it was just, it's been consistent from him. I think he's really stuck out, and then Thomas and Packard as well.
Rainiers in the middle of an unprecedented 24-game homestand. And Rylee, normally in your mind, you're like, well, homestand, great. There's a bit of an advantage there, playing in a park you're familiar with. But that is a lot of games. What's it like prepping for that? What's it like being in the middle of it?
You know, I think we were all excited, just the uncharted territory of it. I think, especially this week, because Sacramento's in town, but they're technically playing as the home team, so we're batting first for this series, which has been interesting in that regard. But as far as the prep goes, from our standpoint, and like broadcast and the players, I think you're still playing those games anyways, whether it's home or on the road. So it is really nice to be able to just have the consistency of being home, I will say, and just having a little bit more of an easy routine in that way instead of living on the road. But it is definitely been interesting territory, and we're taking it one day at a time. I think that's the mantra of this 4-week stretch.
I love game day at the ballpark. Obviously, been to T-Mobile a bunch of times, but I haven't been down to Tacoma. What's the best thing about game day down in Tacoma?
It's great. A completely unbiased opinion too, but I've been really impressed by just the atmosphere of every game day. The fans continue to show up every single night. It's just got a great energy about it, and the fans are really engaged. I think that's something that always sticks out is throughout the game, they're engaged with the different promotions and things going on. They dance with the crowd and the fun squad. And so it's just a crowd that has a ton of energy and life to it, and they're really invested in the team as well. Logan Evans early on this season, talking to him, he mentioned it too, that these are just fans that understand the game pretty well too. So they know and are invested in what's going on the field and the different players that are coming through here, but they're also just great fans and just really bring a great liveliness to it every day, and you definitely feel that.
I've heard like random stories with a couple different teams about like a big leaguer doing a rehab start, buys everyone dinner, or does something really cool. Is that something that actually happens often, and has Logan done anything?
This is funny you ask. Andy and I were talking about it a few days ago that we needed to get to the bottom of the post-game spread and see what it is. So I don't have any official reports on a Gilbert spread just yet, but it is something that I've seen in the last couple of seasons. Being with the Red Sox for a handful of years, Liam Hendricks is great about it. He would get food trucks for both teams even during his rehab stints. And so I think that's always one of the coolest parts, and you feel that across the minor leagues. But definitely we're going to figure out the Gilbert situation, and I have no doubt that it's probably a great story too.
Oh my God, please tell us if you find out. I've been wondering the whole time, like, not only because if you hear about like some big spread, it might mean like, oh, Logan could be coming up here soon. But also, I've just always wondered, like, It seems like such a nice thing. I'm like, Rylee's going to get to the bottom of it. I just know it.
It's a good indicator of character, I would say.
Yes.
Or the different personality types. You can tell a lot. A couple in Boston, too. You got barbecue from the guys from the South. And so, you can tell a lot about the spread for sure.
Rainiers broadcaster Rylee Pay, kind enough to join us for the Farm Report. Thanks, Rylee.
Thanks, Rylee.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
The 2025 MLB All-Star Ballot is open. Cal, Julio, JP, and the crew need your help to secure a spot at this year's Midsummer Classic in Atlanta. You can vote up to 5 times. Bob was moving his head along with it. You can vote up to 5 times per day, every day through June 26 at MLB.com/vote. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know right now. 866-979-3776.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
Chance to catch up with Bryce Miller. Appreciated your candor. You were coming out going, man, I haven't felt good. I don't feel good. Was it starting to become a mental thing where you're trying to compensate?
It's a tough game. It's a tough league, whenever you feel good. And you're not always going to feel 100% throughout a season, but it was just, I think I had 8 starts, and all 8, there wasn't a single start where I felt 90%.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Mariners are transforming T-Mobile Park into Seattle's hottest karaoke club for Sing-Along Fireworks Night. Don't miss an incredible post-game show this Friday presented by T-Mobile after the team squares off against the Guardians at 7:10.
He does it again. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Rowley, the big dumper.
It's your chance to belt your heart out on the big stage to chart-topping hits and feel-good throwbacks. Fireworks and Mariners baseball. That's 2 spectacular shows in one unforgettable night.
Strong play call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
Visit Mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets and see the complete lineup of Mariners fireworks nights this summer, including a patriotic palooza on July 3rd and an 80s show on July 18th. Plus, check out everything else on deck at T-Mobile Park, including a Father's Day socks giveaway this Sunday thanks to Muckleshoot Casino Resorts. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Do you know a woman who gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Stacy Rost here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman today at woiseattle.org. That's woiseattle.org.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men, too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat-freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
Calling all contractors and equipment operators. The James G. Murphy Auction Company rolls out this month one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the block, find an incredible collection of heavy equipment, contractors' equipment, and vehicles, like a 2004 John Deere 400C rock truck, a 2010 John Deere 450D LC excavator, a 2001 John Deere 650H LT dozer, and a 2014 Kenworth T800. In contractors' equipment, we have attachments, live edge and dimensional lumber, contractor tools, even a wheel wash system, and much more up for bid. Whether you're building roads, moving earth, or running a construction outfit, we got what you need. Bidding is underway now and closes at 10 a.m. June 19th. Preview all items June 17th and 18th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures and details of all items, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You're sending any question, sports or non-sports. It better not be about chicken strips. Right now. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. With how bad the Mariners have been playing lately, says our first listener, is Cal Raleigh not getting voted in as an all-star becoming more likely?
Nah, individual thing. They can be 0-72. And if Cal has hit 27 bombs and driven in 55 of them things, he's getting voted in.
I know that when I listen to a lot of baseball podcasts, and a lot of them are national, and I know that when a name pops up frequently on those podcasts, because they're not watching the Mariners regularly, they're bad right now. then that guy's doing pretty well.
Cal was on MLB TV the other day.
Come on.
Come on. He's made it.
You can Sharpie him in for an all-star. It's happening.
The only catcher in the American League that is probably a decent shot to make the all-star team is Alejandro Kirk of the Blue Jays. He's hitting 325, but I mean, he's nowhere close to Cal in any other category.
Yeah. One of my petite brethren, though.
Yeah, Alejandro Kirk's he's
a little guy.
Short fella.
He's a fan favorite.
Yeah. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. When Lumen goes with grass for the Soccer World Cup, will it remain grass for Seahawks games?
No. That'd be turf. It's I did a 4down about that. I think that all stadiums should be grass. I think the players want it, make it comfortable for them, but to go back to turf.
Yeah, I get that. Like from an owner point of view, they're like, but we don't make as much money if we have to spend it on something else. And it's like, right, but there comes a time when you do too many cost-cutting measures, and then you're making way more money when you start sacrificing employee, whatever. I'm counting players as employees here. 866-979-3776. Have you ever blown your nose and not looked at the outcome?
Yeah, I look in the mirror and make sure I got everything.
But I think they're talking about what's in the Kleenex.
Yeah, I've done that
and
before.
not looked at it? Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah, I think if you're feeling healthy that day, you probably don't need to look at it. But if you're feeling sick, you got to look at the color of it, because color indicates whether or not you're sick or not.
I don't know that I look.
I don't think I ever look.
Even when you're sick?
No. No, I don't think so. I've never really.
I don't see color, Curtis.
That's exactly right. I know that's right.
All snot matters.
All snot
matters. Wow. 866-979-3776. Aaron Judge wins MVP. Cal gets second in voting. Then we find out he was using PEDs. What's your reaction?
I knew it. Give it to Cal. Nah, Judge didn't use no PEDs, man. He's been doing this since '87, dog. That's what he does.
He's just a huge dude. He's like 6'7".
He's just massive. It's if an NFL tight end or someone who could play in the NBA just happened to play baseball really well.
Imagine if he was a golfer, how far he would hit the golf ball.
It's like that would be like Bryson.
He'd probably hit it further than him.
He'd rip the tee right off that sledgeway.
Easily.
Gone. That tee is gone.
Gone.
It makes sense because there is a tee. Rip the tee off the sledgeway. But what would a sledgeway be?
The fairway or the tee box,
Word we made up.
It works.
8-6.
I see it every time you say it, though.
Rip the tee off the sledgeway? Do you now, really?
I do.
Yes. I hope other people do. I really do. 866-979-3776. Get your questions in. I just froze my computer for a minute. I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, someone's just saying they've gone to grass before for friendlies, but they always switch it back to turf. I'd be annoyed.
We know,
You put the
Wally. I
grass
just said
down.
that, Wally.
Oh, Wally.
Pay attention, Wally.
Oh, no.
Wally, I'm so sorry about
Choose
my coworker.
Choose any superpower, says the 360, but they give you a twist. You can only use it for 1 minute a day.
1 minute a day.
1 minute a day.
If I can just
flight, boring.
Just see the future.
What about teleportation? Yeah. You could go from Monroe to here.
Oh, save yourself. You could have a 1 minute commute.
You wouldn't even
day.
need to. You could sleep in an extra hour.
Curtis, you are playing 4D chess right now, thinking with your third eye.
How would he get back home?
Well, then
you
just
like
basically
30
one commute.
seconds.
Yeah.
Boom, snapping them there. Boom, snapping them
I
back.
don't think you can split the minute up. I think it's 1 minute.
Well, then you only have one commute per day. Okay.
Well, so I just I have to do it and sit in my car.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it on the way here for sure.
Yeah. And then you could just keep flipping it. Like you teleport back, then you drive the car home, then you drive the car to work, then you teleport back. I'm figuring it out now.
If anything, I'm teleporting here every day. I'll drive back.
Are you sure we can't split up the minute?
I mean, I'm not the person that asked the question, but
well, you
so.
make the nerd rules. This is some nerdy stuff here.
Okay, so let's just change it to
split the minute.
Okay, there you go. It can't split the minute.
Okay, you can't split the minute. So you can only use it once a day, and it's just very quick.
I'm using it to come here.
Okay, I'm using That's just the best choice, and I'm trying to think of a second best choice.
You live close, though. You should use it when you go to Vancouver.
Well, I should use my powers for good. I should choose a different power is what I should do. Because otherwise it's kind of not a pointless power, but it's just,
man, be selfish.
I don't get the same boom for the buck here. Power that I could only use once a day for maybe a minute a day.
I know what yours would be.
What?
I know, because you care so much about what other people think.
That I could snap my
Read
fingers.
people's minds.
No, I wouldn't want to know.
No?
Let me tell you, I thought that I would want to know, but when I see mean comments on things, it hurts my feelings. And then I think, like, I wish I never would have seen that. I wish I never would have seen that comment because now my feelings are hurt.
Man.
No, I wouldn't want to read people's minds. I think that's a mistake. I think we all think we'd want that, and that is a massive mistake.
I don't care. Be mean. I want to hear it all.
Maybe a power to, is it a superpower if like a workout could be done? That's what I would do.
Yeah.
If I could snap my fingers and like I've done the equivalent of a workout, I'm making up a superpower. It's not used to fight crime, but it is used to get your heart rate up. Okay. 866-979-3776. Who wins the U.S. Open? They want to know, and by how much?
Brooks Koepka by 4 strokes.
Okay, I have no opinion. 866-979-3776. Could there possibly be more pitchers than Ohtani who can also DH?
I mean, there are probably some good hitting pitchers, but they don't hit anymore.
Well, and I don't think, obviously it used to just be one league did allow you to do it. I don't think it's like Ohtani was uncovered, and I don't think that's what this listener is saying. I don't think we uncovered Ohtani just because we happened to let a pitcher also hit. I think that what he does is just unreal, you know?
I'm sure if now that Ohtani's doing it, we'll see more because kids are going to train to do both instead of just specializing in one thing.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone said, because you could be the Flash. You get 1 minute worth of running.
I want to run. I don't even run when I work out.
I was trying to think of a power that would let me get richer, and I couldn't think of one. You know, like what's the bank robbing power? What about a power to like erase someone else's memory for the day?
Erase someone else.
But then make it be like a bank teller. Don't commit crimes. But I don't know.
If you don't want to do the time.
That's how you're going to get in trouble. Like there, have a disclaimer. Don't do it.
So, Stacy, you've been talking about robbing banks a little too much.
Governor ain't going to be here tomorrow. Come get you.
We're concerned. All right, you guys, that'll do it for us today. Thank you again to our guests, Rowland-Smith. We had Xavier Scruggs, Cliff Avril. Also, don't forget to go get those tickets to the pickleball tournament, and Rylee Pay. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
In Cal, you're seeing a superstar start to develop. He's starting to get that national recognition. It's always been, when you talk about the Mariners, you'd sort of talk about the rotation as a whole. Sure. Talking about an individual, it's been Julio. And it feels like Cal is starting to move into that spot. Now, here's the thing. Neither, by baseball standards, are being paid as a superstar.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
When you have really good leaders, it makes it easy.
Gia arrived at Lee Johnson after 10 years at another dealership.
You know your job, but then you have people who you can rely on to help you with the big stuff that you need that support from. And I've gotten that every day with my service manager, with our assistant service manager, with even like our GM and our GSM. The way that, we're now on the showroom together, we are so close-knit just as a department. My service manager here, he's always open to teach you whatever you want to know. He just wants everybody to do good around him, and if somebody wants to learn something, I'm here to do it. And I've never had a service manager like that before. They're really good at promoting from within. That's one thing that I've learned from working here. Is I see people start out as a lot porter, and people work their way all the way up to being a general manager.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's a good boy? Oh, bonjour.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire